Operating 56 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Happy Thursday. I just heard Dave Murray, our favorite weatherman here on the Annie Fry Show. We'll talk with Ethan a little bit later. I just heard Dave Murray say, we'll say goodbye to winter, hello to spring. That just warmed my heart, maybe most literally.
Well, I don't know that the weather is going to literally warm your heart.
I think it will.
I mean, we're indoors. There's HVAC. It's not unpleasant in here.
Usually it is.
Usually it is, though.
That's not the best example. Welcome back to Ryan in studio with us again today. The YouTube poll that I'm asking you is, what's your biggest fear for the future? I kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I feel like we're in the middle of this war thing where I could come on every day. I talked about it in the first segment yesterday, just about our poll for you was, do you trust Trump? Because if you trust Trump, you are comfortable treading water right now while this war rages on in Iran, because you feel like you understand the end goal, or you trust that Donald Trump has an end goal. You trust that there's a plan. Isn't the scary part of endless war the fact that we don't know what we're doing? We wouldn't know how to get out of the war if the opportunity presented it to ourselves, that it's just kind of this wandering, aimless thing on the surface level, but what you really fear is that underneath the surface, there's a lot of people making a lot of money off of that. So we have reasons to be very skeptical of endless wars. I'm 41 years old, and the majority of my adult life, we have been at war in some capacity, even though it did kind of feel like it was just part of the sun coming up in the east every day. Today, I'm asking you about your fears. And I was trying to think right now, Ryan, you can see that the poll question's asking if your biggest fear for the future, not your biggest fear right now, but when you worry about the future, and if you think about growing old, if you think about your kids or your grandkids who you haven't met yet, I mean, I kind of for me, future is generational. So when I worry about what my children have in store for them, wasn't the American dream that you'd be able to live a comfortable, independent life and leave it better than you got it?
Yeah, better than the last generation. You had your quality of life was a little better.
So you want to do the same thing for your children and your children's children and so on and so forth. My understanding is that the millennial generation is the first generation in quite some time where they felt like that's definitively not what happened. Now, the millennial parents are mostly boomers. The boomer parents are mostly greatest generation. So you got like Gen Xers in the middle of there. Gen Zers come after the millennials. Well, is there something between greatest generation and the boomers?
No.
They just came home and started making babies.
That's the idea.
That's the baby boom.
That's why it's called that.
Yeah. What a time to be alive. I think about growing up with the understanding of this American dream, and then I do ask myself, is that really what we're getting? And I also remind myself that if it doesn't feel like that's what I'm getting as a millennial, and I'm an old millennial, Ryan's a few years older, you always try to crawl out of the millennial generation into the Gen X generation. But I do feel as with every year that you get older, you're going to want to crawl back into the millennials.
Oh, yeah, I'm kind of embracing that now.
Making you feel
I don't know if you
older.
noticed the switch.
I've
The last couple times you've mentioned it, I've
beat
said,
you into it.
Yeah,
I'm an older.
I guess I'm a millennial.
You are the senior millennial. It
I'm
makes
the
you feel
ultimate
better.
senior millennial.
Yeah. 80?
81.
81?
81.
I'm 84. You're 83?
83.
So we're all there in the early 80s. And we have such a different understanding when people talked about millennials originally, which is ironically like when I first started doing radio, I was 34. Is that right? When I first started doing, I guess it was 34 when I started doing the midday show. because I started in 2016. I would have been 32. That makes sense. I was 32 when I first started doing the weekend show and had been working in radio for years at that time. This is my 20th year in radio. Is it wild that I am not old enough to have done something in my adult life for 20 years? Unfortunately, I am. And you're older than me.
I've done it a little longer.
Yeah, I know.
If you include
TV.
TV.
That's why the industry. That's
The
why
industry.
That's why I always come to you for wisdom.
Yeah, definitely you do that. Come on.
Wow. Yeah,
You were giving me advice all day yesterday.
The advice was talk to your doctor,
I know.
not to me. Talk to your doctor. I get a text message from him yesterday. We might talk about this a little bit later in the show. He is passing kidney stones. And I'm like, have you spoken to your medical professional? And he's like, no, I haven't had the energy. I'm like, talk to your doctor. And then he texts me later and he goes, I called my doctor only because you made me.
It's all true.
That happened. Man, come on, buddy. I just think that when we are looking at where we came from, how we were raised at this particular age, for a lot of you folks who are listening out there who feel like older millennials, Gen Xers, we were raised with this idea and understanding of like what happens when you get to be an adult. We just used to call it being an adult. Now you have to add the ing to the adult and call it adulting. But I hate that. I hate that the younger generation has to name everything. It's just being an adult. And that's really not the way it's been. We've had major, and I don't know, maybe every other generation out there would say the same thing, but our youth, right when we're nation adults, September 11th happens, changes the course of, September 11th is the most pivotal moment in most of our parents' lives. And it happened to us when we were in our mid to late teens, early 20s. And then you have I graduated college in 2006. That's when the job market fell into the pot. I bought a house in 2007. Remember what happened to the housing market in 2008. My husband and I were grateful to buy within our means, which was a house that was not livable until 3 months of work on it because we couldn't afford anything else. But there's one thing after another that our generation has had to deal with. And as soon as you feel like you're starting to get a little bit ahead, there's something else that comes in, swoops in, and it just kind of kicks the whole Jenga tower over that you've been trying so hard to protect and balance. I still look at my kids, and I look at my family, and I look at my life, and I still think that this is the greatest country in the world. I still feel like I'm living the American dream. I just wonder if it's harder work at this for our generation than it was supposed to be, or if this is just what every generation feels. Like, forget about it I'm not talking about the greatest generation. They're the greatest, the GOATs. I get it. Depression, world wars, that type of thing. I understand it. But it's difficult. It's been difficult economically. There's a lot of struggle. And it's not just, I think it's obviously there are people who struggle who are below the poverty line and they have trouble getting ahead. But if you get in that middle class, it's not easy to be middle class in America. It hasn't been. COVID didn't even get to that major kick in the groin. Pulls everything back and floods the economy with a bunch of printed money. And here we are once again. I don't know how you get out of that loop, but since September 11th, 2001, it's been 25 years. We've hit through a lot of these things. Does it get to stabilize? And I think about politics, not policy, but politics in those 25 years, and it's been a reality television show. The Democrat Party and the Republican Party of today would not recognize, or of 2001 would not recognize the Republican Party of today. The Democrat Party, which we've talked about on the air before, because I kept talking about the West Wing, which I am watching. We're almost done with it. But watching this turn of the millennium White House drama show that is centered around a Democrat presidency, they're constantly going back and forth and debating political positions on all the same issues we're talking about right now. All the same issues. And the Democrat perspective is one that if you listen to it, you would understand it. You would get it. But that's not the way we do things now. That's why, I haven't talked about the West Wing in a while, but that's why I encourage you to go back and look at what it was. There's a big trend going on right now about what the 90s were like. And the West Wing is the best example to me of what politics were like in the 90s. They were left-leaning. Entertainment was left-leaning. You knew when you tuned into the network news at night, you knew what network news at night was, first and foremost. But when you tuned into the network news at night, you knew it was going to have a spice of leftism in it, but you could still pull out of it, this is what's happening, and this is what CBS, NBC, whatever might feel about it. We've gotten so wrapped up in all the politics and the entertainment value, and I don't think that people feel entertained, but you definitely are entertaining yourself. Your time is so turned over to the scoreboard of the daily political back and forth that we've actually lost the good things about living. And that's really a sad thing to think about. It's one of the reasons why, at least for this show, I'll just speak for myself from noon to 3 here on 97.1. What we try to do is make sure that you're informed, but I do not want you to leave listening to my show charged up for political battle. I actually want you to feel like you scratched an itch, but you had some fun along the way. That you know what's going on. That's why Ryan's here.
Scratching.
For the scratching and the itch. I'll bring the laughs.
He's an itch.
I just stand over here and scratch the whole time.
I'm scratching right now. This is that thing you
I
said
am
the other
too.
day. I feel like I need to itch
There's
now.
something underneath my thigh.
I'm out.
The
Go to
skin.
break.
The skin.
Oh. We can't build a better future for our kids and for our kids' kids. We can't go up from here. There's nowhere to go up from here. We need to bring back the priorities in our life that really matter, and then the politics come in after that. And there's absolutely, go to the mat for the things that matter in life, for the issues that your elected officials need to be paying attention to. Yes, by all means, save the republic, but don't forget you're saving the republic for your family, for your freedom here. You're not. It's not the end. The end goal here isn't a point on a political scoreboard. And I think when we wrap ourselves up in the fears and you put all of your hopes that the politicians are going to do the right things, folks. And I said folks.
I heard it. I let it go because you were making a good point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't do it.
Listen.
Don't do it.
Folks.
Oh, you couldn't help yourself. Oh. You're as bad as that Mike Slater guy in that commercial to me when you say that.
Thank you very much. That's an inside joke, and I appreciate that.
People know. The Ethos commercial where I haven't talked about this, but this guy enrages me. He does a commercial where he's like, my dad was 63, here's the picture of perfect health. He died, he had a stroke, but he had insurance. I'm just every time I'm like,
Annie, no. You had a great segment going, and you derailed it. Yes, you did. It wasn't me.
No, you had to say folks.
That was not me. That was Brad.
You're the worst liar ever.
He's a liar. Do you freak out? Are you stuck in fear? Do you find yourself waking up worried about these huge, magnificent things that you have no control over? War is a big one right now. Do you think about your children's future? Are you scared about war? Are you scared about AI? That's one of the 4 options that we have today. War, artificial intelligence. I had to put it on there, climate change, because it's an actual diagnosable sit in your therapist office thing and talk about your fear about the world ending. What did we do to our children? Or the final option I'm going to give you today is you don't have fears. You don't have that problem. I want to know what your biggest fear for the future is, and I want you to vote at the youtube.com/@AnnieFry channel. You'll find the live broadcast in the live chat in the live broadcast today. But also text us, especially if you've got something I did list that you think should be included here at 314-241-9797. Now, a little tease for the 2 o'clock hour. At 2:30, if I say the words lemon pound cake and that means something to you, you're going to want to be here at 2:30. If it doesn't mean anything to you, you are definitely going to want to be here at 2:30. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. I'm with Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage, and if you're thinking about refinancing, he has some great advice.
Mark, this is a great time to refinance. If you financed over the last 3 years, you're probably paying a higher rate. Take advantage now. Refinance with the Bagel loan. No closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, nothing. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. For those of you folks that are waiting on the sideline saying, hey, maybe the rates will go down more, I'm going to wait. Take advantage now. A bird in the hand's better than two in the bush. Refinance. Get the cash out you need. Get a lower rate. Maybe even go from a 30 to a 20 year and keep that payment the same. All with the Bagel loan.
And this is a quick process, right?
We close in 10 days. We send a notary out to your house to close so you don't have to take off any time from work. It's easy. It's simple. Bing, bam, boom. Your home is the biggest investment you're going to make in your life. Deal with somebody local, somebody who has a reputation, somebody who has accountability. I'm here in town. You can call me or text me after hours, weekends, whenever it's convenient for you.
Call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440 or Google the Bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
A lot of people are getting their air conditioners tuned up and ready to go for the summer, and we're getting a lot of calls of people saying they want a second opinion, to have us come out and requesting us to come out there and take a look at their air conditioners. They've been told that they need a new one, and the repair is quite costly, and it might be best for them to replace the air conditioner and then repair it. If you're in that situation, please give me a call, because there is truly some opportunities here for you that we could save you lots of money, because I'm sure you're going to be shocked. We have the equipment that still works best for you with your budget. It's pretty much the best. Is what I would put in my home, is what I would recommend. Give me a call. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois. That is 314-293-2600. Or the online thing, and that is bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Technical Project Manager for Equifax Inc. in St. Louis, Missouri, to manage complex, cross-functional technical projects, including activities such as budgeting, schedule, resources, documentation, and tracking. Requires master's degree in computer science, engineering, project management, business administration, or closely related technical field, willing to accept foreign education equivalent, and 3 years of experience as a technical project manager or related occupation in project management, or alternatively, a bachelor's degree in computer science, engineering, project management, business administration, or closely related technical field, willing to accept foreign education equivalent, plus 5 years of experience as a technical project manager or related occupation in project management. Email resume to jobs.opportunities@equifax.com. Reference position number 500003. Again, Technical Project Manager for Equifax Inc. in St. Louis, Missouri. Email resume to jobs.opportunities@equifax.com. Reference position number 500003.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Here to answer questions. It's the evening. We came at their convenience. We gave them as much time as they wanted. And one congresswoman screamed C-SPAN wasn't in there, so she didn't want to ask questions. Yet all day long they've been on social media saying they had all these questions. We sat there saying, anything you want to ask us anything you want to ask us. And they screamed C-SPAN wasn't there, one of them, and then they stormed out of the meeting.
So there's Attorney General Pam Bondi talking about this hearing yesterday. The House Oversight subpoenaed Attorney General Bondi in probe of the Epstein case mismanagement. She is now going to be ordered to appear for a deposition on April 14th, but they want her. They want Pam Bondi, and they had this gathering of people that ended in a fighting match. It's like, what's even going on here? Is Attorney General Pam Bondi, is she in any trouble right now? Do we feel as though that she's done something wrong when it comes to these Epstein files? Is this more political showmanship? Because it oftentimes feels like it is. Let's bring our guest on with us, Hans von Spakovsky, back here on the Annie Frey Show, Advancing American Freedom Senior Legal Fellow, former FEC Commissioner, and former DOJ lawyer. Hans, happy Thursday. Welcome back.
Well, thanks for having me back.
Talk to me about Pam Bondi and this hearing, deposition, whatever it was. All I really took away from it was that C-SPAN wasn't there. There was just a big fit about it outside of the room. Is Attorney General Pam Bondi, is she in a little bit of trouble right now?
Well, I don't think she should be. And frankly, I don't really understand why such a big deal is being made out of this. I mean, I don't want to diminish what Epstein did, but look, that case is way in the past. The Justice Department has released lots of documents. They did go through them and didn't want to release, for example, grand jury materials, which they can't because those are secret under federal law. And they also were trying to keep the names of victims who are throughout this documentation not released so that the victims don't go through another round of being victimized. And, you know, I think part of the frustration here, apparently, by critics is that they keep expecting to find some kind of time bomb inside these documents, you know, some kind of really big reveal about somebody really important, some politician, and they're not getting that. And so they're blaming Pam Bondi, who she and the Justice Department have been doing everything they can to get these documents, the ones they can release, released.
The Epstein files is the very consistent drumbeat of the left. It's on every other protest sign at whatever we're protesting today or this week or the next or the last. Release the Epstein files. They position it like it's the smoking gun. This time they finally got Trump, and as well as anybody that I know, that they've had the smoking gun on Donald Trump so many times that the boy who cried wolf here is going to get cooked by the wolf eventually. Is there something that is being withheld? Is there evidence that President Trump has done something here? Is there something that I'm missing that is kind of eyebrow raising towards President Trump in connection with the Epstein files?
No, and look, all these same people that are using this for political purposes now, the Biden administration was there for 4 years, and they had all of these files. And I don't seem to recall any of them demanding that the Biden administration release these files. Plus, you and I both know, as do all your listeners, that if there was anything in the Epstein files about Donald Trump that somehow made him look bad or somehow showed him having committed some kind of crime, does anybody doubt the Biden administration would have released that and made a big deal about it? Come on.
Certainly.
The fact that even the Biden administration folks didn't find anything in there tells you there's nothing there.
Yeah. If, we would have to ask ourselves, how far was the Biden Justice Department willing to look, to peek, to dig deep into? What were they willing to do to try to find something and potentially manufacture something on Donald Trump? If the Epstein files were sitting right there and they had access to go through them, they would have found something.
Oh, of course. I mean, look at the extent to which they went to try to criminally prosecute Donald Trump, even going to the extent through their allies of trying to get him knocked off the presidential ballot. I mean, a case that went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. That's the extremes to which they were willing to go. Again, if there had been anything in the Epstein files they could have used against him, they would have used it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're speaking here with Hans von Spakovsky, a senior legal fellow at Advancing American Freedom. I want to shift gears here a little bit and talk a little bit about Chief U.S. District Judge James Boasberg. According to Fox News, a frequent thorn in President Donald Trump's side ordered court procedures to require notice when a grand jury refuses to approve an indictment, at least temporarily. Fox News says the move ordered earlier this month follows the Trump administration's failed effort to secure charges against 6 Democrat members of Congress, which Trump and his backers have called the Seditious Six, for telling U.S. service members not to obey illegal orders. Hans, when I've been watching this story and thinking about the Seditious Six, from the outside looking in, it looks like a political move by the administration. I don't know that all of this court procedure is necessary. I wanted to give you the opportunity to maybe reframe my thinking on it.
No, actually, I think you're right. Look, I have publicly criticized what these members of Congress did. It was wrong for them to come out and tell members of the military to disobey what are lawful orders. The military, has a whole system set up. They go through intensive training of officers and enlisted men, telling them when, in fact, they should not obey orders that are unlawful. But is that a crime? Does it fit the very, very high standard of sedition under federal law? And I don't think so.
Yeah. And of all of the different things that have happened, all the pursuit of injustice from the left and from the Biden administration towards Donald Trump, I just feel like this is unnecessary. Last question before we let you go. I was wondering if you watched any of the DHS Senator Mark Wayne Mullen hearing process go through, and if you saw any of the Rand Paul exchange with Senator Mullen. My question is, if Senator Rand Paul chairs this committee that's supposed to have this initial confirmation hearing process, whatever it is, it's so obvious that Rand Paul, I mean, he's not hiding away from it, has a very personal disagreement with Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. Does it ever happen that somebody who's chairing a committee like that would recuse themselves? I mean, that seems like ridiculous to even think that a senator would be like, well, I'll sit this one out. But is it inappropriate of Rand Paul to be in that position? Or is that just the tough luck of Senator Mark Wayne Mullen that he got the spat with the person who's got to chair his confirmation committee hearing?
Well, no, there's no rules inside the Senate that would require a chair or any other member of committee to recuse themselves. But I think, unfortunately, that committee hearing is another example of something that's happened in the Senate now for years, which is senators, instead of looking at the qualifications of an individual to be confirmed to a particular position, things have gotten so personal. They engage in these personal insults, retorts, personal claims against somebody's character and personality in a way that I just think is not appropriate. The president should usually get his Democrat or Republican unless the person doesn't have the professional qualifications needed to fulfill a job. And the personal stuff that has gotten in there, highlighted, as you know, by the attacks on Clarence Thomas years ago when he became the justice, is a sign, I think, of, frankly, the political corruption of the U.S. Senate.
Yeah, 100%. You kind of would like to see a decorum exist in that environment that isn't right now. And I mean, you can go up to the Oval Office and there's decorum. There's a lot of gold there. Decorum, not always. He's got a sharp tongue. But I think a lot of people who are on the right side of the aisle have been at the other end of that for so long that having somebody go in there who is willing to wrestle with the pig, both get dirty and enjoy the process, it's, I guess, worked out for the Republicans, the conservative movement so far. Hans, thanks for being with us. Spring tomorrow, as I understand it. So happy spring to you.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Take care. Bye-bye. Hans von Spakovsky is a senior legal fellow with Advancing American Freedom. Go check them out. Former FEC commissioner and former DOJ lawyer. Live chat poll for today. What is your biggest fear for the future? What do you worry about? What kind of keeps you up at night from time to time for the future? Is it war? Is it AI? Is it climate change? Or you don't really have fears? You can text us at 314-241-9797, and we'll feature a few of those text messages. We'll read them on the air throughout the course of the show, but we want your vote right here on the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll. You go to the live broadcast and click on the live chat. There's a poll. Let's take a quick break. Back in a minute.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloor.com.
Today's YouTube live chat poll. What is your biggest fear for the future? Is it war? Is it AI? Is it climate change? Or do you not have any fears? Jump on Annie's YouTube page and vote in the poll. The other thing you can do is you can text us at 241-9797, 314-241-9797, and leave us a comment that way. And let us know what you think. What's your biggest fear? The time is 12:34. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. You guys are all listening to us while you're watching basketball. Mostly just Ethan.
Yeah, that's what Ethan's doing for sure.
Actually, he might just be watching basketball.
I actually walked out there and got a little caught up in it because this is the moment of the tournament where you go, oh, it's all starting. It's like Election Day, where Election Day happens, but you got to wait really till 8 o'clock to get any results.
And then there's like 4 weeks between the semifinals and the final. That's
Yeah.
the way, or
Yeah.
the quarterfinals. It's like the Sweet 16 happens, and then you just like wait forever.
This is that moment where you're excited because the games have started, but
Things are happening.
but there's not really anything yet to report.
Yeah. Any bold calls that you want to make right now about basketball?
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is McNeese's going all the way.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so hard to disagree. What about you, Brad?
Man, I really like Illinois, but I think Michigan is going to go all the way and win it all.
Boo.
I don't know who to pick this year. I did several brackets. I did one with you. I did one with just regular Yahoo. I did some with
Is that somebody you know?
some random. I did some with some random Yahoo. He said, "Give me
Can we
$5 and you might win a lot." And I said, "Great."
Sounds like the
There
odds are in
you
my
go.
favor.
Sounds good. Now,
Can
who
we
should I pick? He's like, "I don't care at all."
Let's start using the word yahoos instead of folks.
Okay.
In the future. All you yahoos.
All you- It's a little talking down to people a little more, though.
I don't know. Not if you are one of them.
All these yahoos out here voting for Republicans. See?
Mm-hmm.
And now you would have said folks, and that sounded fine.
I would never have said folks.
You would have said folks.
Yes.
Instead of yahoos, but now now people think we're slamming Republicans.
YouTube poll for today. What's your biggest fear for the future? War, AI, climate changes, or no fear? You're not worried about anything. You don't like have that kind of gut punch. Or any of these, you don't have, if you were going to pick from these three, forget the no fear thing right now. If you're going to pick from these three, is there anything that is obvious to you?
The one that I think about the most of those three is AI because of the intrusive nature of it into aspects of my life that are happening right now. Whereas war and climate change.
The robots?
Yeah, robots. I don't think about those as much. I mean, war could be on there because it's always kind of in the back of your mind, like, oh, what if? What if North Korea went nuts? What if China went nuts? But AI is one that I think we're going to have to grapple with as an entire world over and over and over all the time from now on. So if I want to put that in the category of fear, I guess so.
We were of the childhood age where we were old enough to understand that the internet was here. We remember when the internet wasn't here, which is incredible to have that grasp on it. I would say that the internet became a factor in our actual lives probably around 1997 or 8. And it was really like, it existed before then, but you still played Oregon Trail. You still played Nintendo games that you could, the idea of connecting and playing a Nintendo game with somebody else never happened before. You didn't know how to do that. Being able to email people was really like the internet was for emailing. And then it became for instant messages, like an IM, which is now a DM. It wasn't a place to go to research. When you think about how the internet entered your home initially, it was just kind of a new toy that okay, this is going to be a thing, but what do we do with it? And I wonder what it was like to be an adult in the work environment, pre-internet, post-internet. Did you have a gut feeling like this is kind of scary? I wonder if it was frightening to people. I'd love to get texts from people who have any anecdotes on that, 314-241-9797, because it did change everything. The world is entirely different with the connectivity of the internet.
Yeah, it changed everything, but it happened slow enough that I think you could kind of get your mind around it. That's what's scary about AI to me, is that there are things happening in industries and worlds and parts of commerce that I don't understand how they're happening.
Artificial intelligence, the way it is growing and integrating, is a natural flow from the generation of the internet.
Sure.
So, I mean, the pace with which the internet crawled and creeped into our lives, we knew what it was like to go through school and the internet was a zero factor in what you did for school. But then, more like college, it was like, do not use the internet for resources. You cannot use the internet for your research paper. You cannot use because they didn't trust anything that was on the internet. If you showed up with something from Wikipedia in a college class, which I don't know, maybe you're still not supposed to do that either. I hope not.
I don't know.
Kids these days.
I mean, they're not even writing the papers anymore.
Do you know that teachers have this is so reminiscent to my experience in high school. I've told this story before. It's one of my greatest embarrassments, my biggest failures, my biggest life lessons. I was supposed to do a book report. Do you know the story?
I think you may have told it once, but I don't remember.
I've told it on the air before, but I don't tell a lot because it does still make me feel really guilty and uncomfortable. I was supposed to do a book report for advanced biology, anatomy and physiology or something. Folks, gosh, it's a folks day.
Yahoos.
Hey, Yahoos. I've got my Yahoo bracket open in front of me.
You can't do it.
Well, it makes me feel better.
Listen,
for
all you Yahoos.
Yeah, you should do it for me.
Okay.
I was never going to go into science. That was for sure. I was good at math, but I didn't enjoy science. It grossed me out. Didn't want to know about it. Just wanted to trust it. And so I was in this advanced biology class. It was a hard class. I hated it. And we were supposed to do a book report. And it was supposed to be on any book that had to do something with science. Now, why we were in anatomy and physiology and having to do book reports, I question that decision. As the teacher is a wonderful woman.
I choose Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Well, I picked Jurassic Park the night before because we had the book. we had Michael Crichton's 3-inch fat book sitting upstairs in the bookshelf. And I'm like, well, I've seen the movie.
Uh-oh.
So what I did was, using the framework of the movie, I went on the internets in what would have been the year it would have been 2000 or 2001. And I went on the internet and I read a bunch of book reports on Jurassic Park. So I didn't turn in somebody else's full work. See the problem? I went in and I wrote a book report I basically did a research paper on a book report without citing the fact that I was using other people's work. So I cheated. I plagiarized. It was bad.
You paraphrase. You didn't.
No, it was cheating.
You didn't quote it.
It was cheating because I didn't do anything until the night before.
I'm trying to defend you.
I have so much shame. It was the fall of 2000. It was 26 years ago. I got a detention for it. You know why? The only time there's one other time I got detention. That was 6th grade. I'll tell that story later. That one, I was right. This one, I was totally wrong. What she did was she came into the classroom after we had all turned in our book reports, research papers, and the next day she's like, folks, hey, this is where we appropriate. Where it's appropriate. Hey, yahoos. I took your papers and I put them in Google. She Googled different paragraphs from our pages, and there were like 15 people who cheated, who plagiarized the whole thing.
Wow. Including you?
Yeah, I got busted.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't understand, because what it sounded like to me was, and maybe you're gravy training me here, it sounded like you went.
I don't know if
I might be using it wrong. I don't care. You read other people's book reports. You didn't take them directly. You took the knowledge.
No, I used quotes from them.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I told you.
As I understood it, you just read theirs.
I probably wrote 60% of the paper. But I didn't know the parts that were from the book that weren't from the movie.
Okay.
So I found those in other people's papers.
And you quote it without citing it.
Yes, because I didn't want them to know that I didn't do the work myself.
Well, I'm going to stop defending you now.
You should. I am not defending myself. It was wrong, and I got in trouble for it, as I should. I got a 0 on the paper. I think I ended up getting a C in the class. It's my lowest grade I got in high school, and I deserved every bit of it. And I got a C in the class, which was an accomplishment, because the 0, it was a big chunk of the grade, and I had an F in that class after that grade got put in. I was like crying and apologizing, and the teacher was really cool about it. I really appreciate it, because she didn't let me off the hook, because there's no way she should have. So many of the kids were using the internet because they didn't think the teachers knew how to use the internet. And this is for real. I didn't know what Google was. She Googled our papers.
That was before that was a verb.
Yes, correct.
She would have search engined it.
I mean, she probably came in and said, I put it in the google.com. And some of you people have some explaining to do, and I was one of them. I think among the felons in the class, I put the most work into my cheating. But I did not deserve to get off the hook. I was unprepared. I have no excuse for it. But that's the level with which we grew up not utilizing the internet. Like, I tried to use it in a way to help me because I thought I was going to outsmart the teacher, and I absolutely didn't. I got rocked for it. I still feel guilty about it. I never cheated again. I actually think that my I got to stop saying what my 100% focus on being above reproach really goes back to Jurassic Park research book report.
I hear a lot of sadness and regret in your voice as you talk about that story. And I understand now where you're coming from. I'm not going to defend what you did, but can you imagine? And I don't mean to heap burning coals on you here or add to the gravy train, but can you imagine where your career would have gone if you hadn't gotten a C in that class?
I think I just toasted my political career. They
Yeah.
call me a plagiarist. Although
you could be
didn't
president
Joe Biden
of the United States right now.
A lot. Wait a second. I think this is how I go places. I'm in the game now.
Well, this took a turn.
The reason why I tell that story about Google is because today teachers have access very easily to programs. They require you to submit your paper in computer file form. They don't really care to have the hard paper. Maybe they do both. It probably depends on the teacher. But you can be required to write your paper inside a specific program that will show the teacher every single stroke of the keyboard, the pace with which you type. Is that a human pace or is that an artificial intelligence pace? And it will wrap the entirety of artificial intelligence around a student's paper to be able to tell the teacher, like, I think it gives them a score or a grade that says it's this much human, this much AI. So they already know. And I'm saying that so that you kids make good decisions and you don't do research papers when you're supposed to do book reports and you've seen the movie. And you know that you're going to be somebody who's going to be more of a the science than science in the future. You still got to do the work. That's Kamala Harris. See, Kamala Harris did an entire presidential campaign on doing the work. And Biden was president and he's a plagiarist.
Ooh, man, you got a big future ahead of you.
Only up from here. Back in a minute. So it's time to call Civia Law. Todd Civia of Civia Law. You go online to civialaw.com for your estate planning needs. If you haven't had it looked at recently, you have to have it looked at again. There's so much that changes year to year. And if you do not have it reviewed, you could be missing out on really important opportunities to protect your estate, to grow your estate, and to fortify it. Now, the folks at the Civia Law team, they're top notch. Todd is going to walk you through all of the things that you need to know. He's going to ask you all the questions you've never even thought of. And when you leave with that trust established, the wills, the powers of attorney, you're going to feel like it's airtight. And that's a really incredible feeling. They'll help you through those tough life transitions. And I encourage you greatly to invest in doing that now so that when the emotions set in, if there's a tragic change in your life, you don't have to do it then. 833-995-WILL. Mention Annie. Be the first 10 callers right now to mention Annie to schedule that strategy session. They're going to give it to you for free. It's a $300 value. 833-995-WILL. CiviaLaw.com.
This Friday, we're inviting you to have some fish with us. It's another Fish Fry Friday on The Mark Reardon Show. This time we're in Oakville at Queen of All Saints. From 3 to 6, we'll be broadcasting live and eating God's cod. Fish Fry Fridays, made possible by Apache Village RV.
100 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. A century of trust in St. Louis. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Trust your friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Did you know that 60% of adults over 20 avoid going to the dentist due to deep fear of dental treatment? Knowing that many of our chronic health problems can be directly related to the harmful bacteria in our mouth, not going to the dentist can be very dangerous. Hi, this is Dr. Michael White. I've been helping the dental anxiety patient for over 20 years with anxiety-free sedation. This is very effective and very affordable. Call my office at 314-270-8552. That's 314-270-8552.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
The Annie Fry Show is St. Louis conservative.
You know, the show ends at 3.
You gotta let this one play a little bit, though.
Every time Ryan walks to the bathroom,
No, that's
It's
not
playing
true.
in his head.
This is playing in my head, but it makes me walk in slow motion, which I can't do right now.
That's just an excuse for being slow.
No, it's not. This is
Are you
a
going
runner's
to do
song.
Wiggins America?
No, I'm not. I love
Wiggins
the song.
America today is Chariots of Fire.
It's pretty much just talking about the score of the movie.
Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins with a man's jam.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to understand that the segment that is highlighting Wiggins with a man's jam is to highlight this segment compared to all the other segments that he's in.
Right. Yeah, this one's different. And it's to tell you, it's this segue, about different stories
Not
you
yet.
may have missed. Like this one. Meta is killing off the Metaverse.
We
you see
did the
this?
story yesterday.
Ah, dang it.
I'm just kidding.
Good. 'cause
Oh, wow. I almost had to hit the dump button, Ryan. I saw
you
that.
genuinely got me.
That was so fun. Go on.
Well, this $80 billion joke continues to circle the drain. The shutdown, if you recall, in 2021, Facebook changed its name to Meta because of the metaverse. It has now lost $80 billion, and they are going to discontinue the vast majority of it, all pretty much their VR program, not entirely, but mostly to focus on AI. $80 billion is a lot of money for a private company.
For you.
But not that much if you're committing Medicaid fraud in California.
Ding.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I should have played the old There we go. Speaking of AI, it may never be this cheap again if you are a user of AI, because what's happening right now is companies are underpricing their product to get you to use it and become familiar with it so that in the future...
Because all these brands are going to swallow the other ones whole. Like who becomes the Google? You don't say, I'm going to ask Jeeves anymore.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, but you know Jeeves.
Yeah, that's my buddy Jeeves.
That's what he calls Ethan.
That's my boy.
And he Googles it.
Yeah, I asked Jeeves to Google it for me. The artificial intelligence tools millions of people use every day, ChatGPT, Claude. I know I've heard that.
Yep.
But Gemini is another one. It doesn't even list Grok, but that's the one I use the most. May be significantly underpriced, and that window could be closing because OpenAI is projected to burn $14 billion this year, up from $8 to $9 billion last year, but they keep underpricing themselves just to get people to use them instead of the others.
Yahoo a search engine?
Yeah, it still is.
That's super loud.
That was loud.
You're the one who's got the controls over there.
Well,
I've only played something. That's a you thing.
No, that's a you thing.
Also, it took about 7.5 seconds for that to play.
I saw a look in your eye like you had something burning over there. I thought maybe it was incense.
Can you smell it? Yeah, he's going to use that.
I'm going to use that clip.
I
Can
hate
you smell it?
I hate you.
All right, last one is states are having to define penny rounding rules for charging.
Yeah.
States are setting new rules for cash purchases after the U.S. Mint stopped making pennies and the 1-cent coins get scarcer. I don't love that they did this right away because it was the minute they stopped making pennies, companies were like, well, we're going to give you change in nickels. It was like you just stopped making them. You can't feel that yet.
Are pennies going to become more valuable?
I don't know.
Because I think right now, technically, a penny is worth less than a penny. Isn't
Actually,
that right?
well, it costs more to make a penny
Yeah.
than it does to use a penny because it costs
Which is why we're not making them.
Yeah, exactly. 3.7 cents to make every 1-cent coin. The problem is that nickels cost even more than that. they cost more to make than pennies.
Are you telling me that the U.S. government hasn't figured this one out yet?
I mean, it will save money if people are generally using less pennies and they're not having to produce pennies because people are just using less change. But I think the 5 cent costs about 14 cents to make. So they're trying to switch. The Trump administration is trying to use zinc, though, instead of whatever current metal they use because that will lower the price. But they have to get Congress to approve it, and Congress has done nothing. Thank you very much.
So to our Yahoo gentlemen, I just want to make it clear that
That was not the right one.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Fighting over oil field escalates. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Ramped up attacks on Middle East energy assets pushed the Iran war into a new phase. Following Israel's attack on Iran's largest gas field, Tehran struck back.
This evening in Israel, an Iranian ballistic missile targeted the northern city of Haifa, and shrapnel from that missile hit the Bazan oil refinery. This is Israel's largest refinery, and it accounts for more than 50% of the country's gasoline and diesel supplies.
Fox's Trey Yanks in Tel Aviv. Iran's also targeting the energy infrastructure of fellow Gulf nations.
Targeting Qatar's Ras Laffan facility, and the Qataris say that 17% of their liquefied natural gas output has been reduced. As a result of this attack, it could take up to 5 years, according to reports, to repair the damage caused in that Iranian strike.
Meeting with Japan's prime minister at the White House today, President Trump reiterated what he told Israel about striking Iran's South Pars gas field.
I told him don't do that, and he won't do that. We didn't discuss. We do. We're independent. We get along great. It's coordinated, but on occasion he'll do something, and if I don't like it, and so we're not doing that anymore.
Meantime, Israeli officials are pushing back on U.S. claims. President Trump knew nothing about the gas field attack. 3 Israeli officials tell Reuters the U.S. actually helped coordinate it. But from the U.S. side,
the Treasury Secretary says the U.S. military deliberately is avoiding Iran's infrastructure. He says that after the regime is gone, the president wants Iranian people to have a foundation to rebuild that country.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence. Oil and gas prices climb even more after the attacks on oil fields. Brent crude briefly reached $119 a barrel today. U.S. crude rising now more than $99 a barrel. America's listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaid spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
It's a pretty good-looking spring afternoon with above-average temperatures back in control, partly to mostly sunny 74. We say goodbye to winter today. Then tonight, some clouds, 48. Spring begins on Friday, 9:46 in the morning, sunny and 81. Instant replay Saturday and Sunday, sunshine, dry, 81 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist, Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get a free air scrubber and breathe healthy indoor air when you replace your HVAC system. Plus, you may qualify for rebates up to $2,600 and 0% financing up to 72 months. For a free estimate, aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
In LA, they have a similar thing with, like you mentioned, with the hospice issue. There was, I think, one commercial building had gotten licenses for 112 hospices within one building. And I think there's more hospices in 1 square mile of LA than there are in 36 other states combined.
Well, we're seeing those investigations into fraud happening across the country. President Trump and his administration at every level are working hard to seek out to make our country function for the taxpayer, not against the taxpayer. And there's one particular area where we're going to focus in now, and we're going to speak with our next guest, Dr. Mehmet Oz, Director of Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Dr. Oz, thank you for the time today to come on the Annie Fry Show. We're so grateful to have you here with us.
Well, I feel blessed to be with you. And I was listening to Nick Shirley talking about something that's become normalized in Los Angeles. And I say that because it's important to understand what that does to a society. When everyone expects that people around them are lying and cheating and stealing, they start to lie and cheat and steal. And I don't know if you saw the video I just posted online, but I was in L.A. walking through a very normal-looking neighborhood, and there was one house that was a little disheveled. Couch on the outside, just clearly wasn't like all the other houses. And these are called six-packs, because what they do in these houses, and there were 3 of them in this neighborhood in Carson, just a suburb of Los Angeles, they take 6 elderly residents, basically keep them hostage in there, and they traffic their information. They sell their information, for example, to hospice groups who will pretend that they're dying of cancer, charge $6,000 to the taxpayer. These people, by the way, aren't dying of anything. If they, one of them unfortunately died because they were there getting maybe mistreated, but that's why the cops, eventually came and shut these things down. But now that you've normalized hospice fraud, where 1/3 of all hospices in the entire country are in Los Angeles, I mean, people aren't dying that much more commonly in Los Angeles, right? Now you have the ecosystem now built another layer of fraud. These six-packs where they now traffic people to these hospices, and then it gets worse and worse and worse. And of course, because these are unlicensed activities, it's really hard for law enforcement to catch up to them. So if you don't cut the head of the hydra off, it will become normalized and destroy society. That's happened in Los Angeles with hospice and home health care. We're seeing it with autism in states like Indiana and Minnesota. That, Minnesota was supposed to have a, $1 million, $2 million bill for hospice care. It was $400 million because folks started selling their children, basically. Parents would lie and say their parents had autism to get money. And then, of course, that child carries that diagnosis wrongly for the rest of their life. Meanwhile, they're defrauding the taxpayer. New York State, number one job in New York. Number one job, not retail. Number one job is personal care services, home health aides, things like that. Why? Because they have a way of cheating the system. Everyone hires their child to do a job. It's basically a jobs program, and it's political patronage for the governors. And I'll give you one last stat because, it's infuriating. Your durable medical equipment suppliers sell canes and wheelchairs and knee braces. There are twice as many of them in South Florida as McDonald's.
Oh.
I mean, how is that possible?
Yeah, it's outrageous. I mean, it's probably what you're uncovering and constantly digging deeper and deeper into. We're speaking with Dr. Oz here on the Annie Fry Show. That this fraudulent behavior seems to be very efficiently streamlined. There's a process. There's an implementation. How do you go to, you said you've got to cut the head off of this process. How do you know when you've gotten to the pinnacle of where this is coming from?
A lot of this is just allowing people to do their jobs. I love my job. I'm at Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. If you talk to the folks who've been working here for years, they have never felt the amount of enthusiasm for their job. They think they're allowed to go unbridled out there and take these folks out. They actually want to stop fraud, and they've been hindered because for many years their job was to get more people on the system. It wasn't to police the system, to make sure it's given to the right people. The argument that I made to my colleagues is if your child has autism and you get extra services, that's a good thing for society. But if every child in the neighborhood has autism, your child won't get care. And what they're doing now, and it's my agency, but it's true of the Department of Justice and FBI, and we're working all together. It's an all-of-government effort. And as you know, President Trump has appointed Vice President Vance to be in charge of this task force. What we're doing is unifying resources and freeing people, taking the bits out of their mouth. Let these stallions go after fraud. FBI agents and Office of Inspector General agents, they want to go out and take these folks out. But I'll tell you, my job is a little different. My job is to give everyone the clues, but most importantly, never let the money leave the building. So what we're saying to fraudsters is you got a good time for the last 5 years. A lot of this, of course, because of COVID and rule changes that made it easy to cheat. New sheriff in town. That's done. And I'm not letting you take the money. And if you try to get money from us, eventually they're going to catch you and put you in jail. But in the meantime, it's a bad proposition because you're not making any money because you can't steal from us. And you know what we find out? People leave the business. Once they know that there's accountability, that folks are checking and looking and going to catch them, and they're not going to get the money anyway, they leave. They go defraud somebody else.
Oh, that's such complacency that I guess has just been left to be dormant for so long because we haven't had people like you, Dr. Oz, and the Trump administration pushing to say no more of this. As the director of Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Medicare and Medicaid is one of the biggest issues that gets talked about every single election. And are we going to protect it? Are they going to sell it out? How can you sustain it and provide Medicare and Medicaid to the people of this country who have been paying into it, who need it, if it's being defrauded so much? It seems like the ultimate way to protect it is to do exactly what you're doing right now.
So beautifully stated. These are the crown jewels of our social safety net program. We are judged by our society as a society and how we take care of our most vulnerable. I'll give you one number just to blow your mind. Everyone's worried that they're paying the Medicare, they're never going to get it, right? It's going to go out, their belly up before they get to the age of 65. If we could take out the fraud, waste, and abuse just in Medicare, just in that program, we would double the life expectancy of the Medicare Trust Fund.
Wow.
It would be there for a lot longer. You'd be able to take advantage of it. And all you got to do is make sure that the right people get the services at the right time by the right people. And the folks who are cheating the system are reprehensible for a lot of reasons. But I'll tell you the big epiphany for me, again, I'm a heart surgeon. I've seen this too often. People who will steal your money will steal your health and they'll steal your life. People are dying because of this fraud. I'm really angry about the money, but I will not tolerate lives, American lives, being taken by fraudsters. And there are some cultural issues here. There are definitely folks who have gotten involved from other countries who don't agree with the way we do business because they came from countries where everyone cheats. We don't cheat our most vulnerable in America. We shouldn't have let that happen. And Americans steal too. But no matter where you come from, we're not going to normalize it anymore.
You say we don't cheat, and I love to hear that. And I know our listeners right now are saying, yes, more of this. But it sounds like we have allowed it for a certain amount of time. Is this behavior that has just been completely ignored, or is it possible that it's even been encouraged at certain levels of our functioning government?
A telling question. And I think there is political patronage. There's definitely evidence of leadership not wanting to take on this challenge because it would cost them votes in certain populations. That's true in many of the cases that have been already discussed. But I got to say, the most important thing we need to do is to recognize that this is not a small problem that you'll win an election for, but it'll work out at the end. This is not seen as a flaw by some people. This is a feature. If you can get populations to vote for you who wouldn't have, if you can get populations to think more of you because you're not willing to make tough decisions, then that's a real issue because you're not doing your job. We don't elect people to do what's best for them. We elect them hopefully to take care of all of us. And I'll give you a little stat that, again, it's sort of awkward to admit. By federal law, if we sign you up for a program like Medicaid, we have to also give you the ability to vote. So this is also a voter outreach issue.
Oh. That is a little embarrassing to have to admit. We're speaking with Dr. Oz here, the director of Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. I've encountered a few headlines that talk about stories of people who are going to apply for that Medicaid coverage or maybe, potentially even hospice coverage, and they find out they've been getting that coverage before. And then there's a whole conflict over their ability to access the coverage that should be there, but their identities have been stolen and their benefits have been appropriated somewhere else. And then you've got this whole tangled web of issues that you have to deal with while somebody is actually seeking out these services that they are entitled to. What do you do to the people who are committing this identity fraud against American citizens and taxpayers?
Just to put a little exclamation point on your insight, I've spoken to family members of people who have gone on hospice. And to your point specifically, when you go on hospice because you're going to die, because you have, let's say, metastatic cancer, you make the very thoughtful, wise decision to forego other care in order to be put in a more comfortable situation. So you lose your Medicare. I'll say that again. When you go on hospice, you give up your Medicare as part of the deal. So if you're dishonestly put on hospice, and you didn't even know it happened, and this is a whole business, your young people come into your life, they trick you, they tell you to sign here for a free toaster, and they take you off Medicare, right? When you get sick, you're not eligible for care. You go to the ER, they won't take care of you. You ask for a treatment or an X-ray or a doctor's appointment, you can't get one because you gave up your Medicare because you're on hospice. And so people have had terrible complications from that. These are some of the most reprehensible people out there, and I've got news for you. A lot of them are doctors and other healthcare providers. And we see this now, especially, for example, in Los Angeles, where we have a limited number of doctors, a couple dozen, who've used their name and their medical degree and license to in order to pretend that people belong on hospice. They will often get paid by the hospice center. They'll sometimes work at the hospice center just by name. They don't actually do anything there. And that's one of the clues we have. When we see the same bad apple working at 5 hospices, why do you have to have 5 hospices? If you want to do hospice care, if you really care about the mission, have one hospice and work out of it. You do 5 because if you stay under 50 patients a hospice, you don't have to report your data to the government. So it's a trick. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. This is not new, right? We've known about this, but if you have a hospice under 50 patients, I should be coming after you, knocking on your door, asking extra questions, because those are the bad apples.
Oh, Dr. Oz, this is breathtaking. I mean, this is what you're up to your eyeballs in this right now. When you accepted this position on behalf of the administration, did you know that this was going on, and did you know it was this bad?
No. Not at this level. I did not appreciate it. And maybe I should have suspected, because the president, we were at Mar-a-Lago and I got my interview, and I've known the president for quite a while. So at the end of it all, he said, Oz, are you sure you want this job? And I said, yes, sir, I am. This is a dream. It'd be a dream for me to be able to serve in this capacity. And he looked around and he said, Oz, are you really sure? And I said, yes, I am. Yeah. And then he said, last chance.
That sounds just like him.
So he warned me.
Yeah.
He did warn me. I think there was knowledge that there was fraud, but I don't believe most of folks in this area believed it was this big. And certainly they didn't realize that the evidence was so clear. And that's why it's sort of embarrassing for the sector to look up and say, my gosh, you didn't have to be that sophisticated to understand the fraud. And that's what happened during COVID. I do think it was harder to defraud the government before COVID, but when that much money was given away with those very, very limited strings attached, people learned they could cheat the government. And if you can cheat the government out of, things like food benefits during COVID, then you learn how to cheat them on SNAP, and you learn how to cheat them on daycare and on Medicaid and on Medicare. And soon you weaponize the whole system. And there are foreign governments, certainly foreign nationals, who are world class at this. The folks that we busted last year in this massive $15 billion ring, the perpetrators were all back in Russia. That's the same thing that's happening in California. We know that in South Florida, where you have all those durable medical equipment suppliers, a lot of the guilty people flee back to Cuba. In fact, one of the mayor of Miami told me he thought the Cuban government might be actually involved in this. We have mafia that's taking roles in Philadelphia. When I was in New York last week in Flushing, Queens, it's the Chinese population there that it's an insular population. They circle the wagons. They won't talk to anybody outside the community. I actually ran into my charge nurse because I practiced at Columbia University for many years. And she was happy to see me until she realized why I was there. And then she quickly got scared and told me quickly, get out of there while I could. It's a dangerous area. People there know what's happening, but they don't want to talk about it. I've never seen her scared. This woman's helped me deal with people who are at death's door. And she was petrified to see that we'd come there as the government to find out what's happening. On that one city block in Flushing, that one block, there were 3 of these social adult daycare centers that we believe are defrauding the government. One of them we have a conviction in already. On that same city block was the insurance company that was supposed to be monitoring them and a police precinct on the same block, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud, unlicensed individuals, because they don't have to get a license to do it in New York. And what is it? I went to the Southern District of Manhattan where Giuliani used to rule. I met with these wonderful people, DOJ, the FBI, the Office of Inspector General people. They all say the same thing, which is, if you don't let us go out there and enforce the law, then it just gets worse and worse. And if you make rules that are unenforceable, then you can't send law enforcement to enforce the law because there's no rule that we can rely on. And this is why it's a whole of government solution. It's about making smarter rules so law enforcement knows that they can enforce them. It's about knowing where to look and using technology, including AI, to uncover. Listen, if you know there's 100 hospice centers in one building and the building is full of fraudulent hospice centers, you can assume the ones that you don't know are fraudulent are probably fraudulent, right? Take their licenses away. Don't let them practice. Instead, the old-fashioned approach was one by one, go after them, subpoena them, ask them to come to court. These guys are smart, and they're making a fortune. They're all driving BMWs. They're going to outsmart the system. You'll never catch them. And by the time you do, they either flee the country or they create a hospice in Nevada, which, by the way, is what's happening. As we chase them out of California, they go to Nevada, they go to Texas, they go to Arizona. And we're already seeing a 7-fold increase in hospice in Nevada. I just came back from there. Horrifying. And these bad guys, they learned the business in California. The good news is, you cut off the head of the hydra, as we started the interview off saying. You get these people to realize there's no easy money here anymore. They'll just go somewhere else to do crimes. At least they leave healthcare.
Well, Dr. Oz, man, we're blessed to have you, and we look forward to more of your recalibration of this entire system. Do you feel as though you can make real, measurable, effective change from the root level in this industry in the amount of time that you have with President Trump?
100%. And the president, as you know, is a great deal maker. The best deal of all. Go to the good guys. They know who the bad guys are, and help them. Yes. So my biggest allies in hospice fraud are the good hospices. The ones that actually are doing their job. The good healthcare, home healthcare, the good durable medical equipment suppliers. They are wonderful human beings who are trying to do their job. These are inherently good businesses. They don't want the bad guys because it destroys the entire bushel. Find the good apples, ask them questions, get them to help you. And with their help and with the president's leadership, we're going to do great. And I tell you, having Vice President Vance, who's a superstar, involved in this, puts a lot of ferocity into, it's a ferocious group he's putting together.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Oz, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show to give us all of these statistics and this depth on this issue. I know that the fraud is at the forefront of what our listeners here want to see this administration engaged in, and it sounds like you're doing a wonderful job at rooting it out. We thank you for your time.
I thank you. God bless.
God bless you as well. Dr. Mehmet Oz, Director of Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. How do you feel about that? Did you pass a kidney stone while you were listening to that?
Well, I was going to ask him what I should do about kidney stones because he's a doctor.
I went back and forth in my head
about
wrapping that up, but they said 10 to 15 minutes, and then when Ethan put him on, he said he didn't have an out time. And if we kind of wrapped up the interview in the 10-minute area, I was going kidney stone.
I don't know if you saw me waving at you, but if you had tossed to me, I was going to say, Dr. Oz, a little bit of a departure here based on the California fraud.
But about me?
I passed 3 stones yesterday. Am I drinking enough water?
Oh, God. Man, I'm never going to you as a guest again, ever.
I had to hit your mic mute so quick.
Oh.
What you want is for the guest to remember you.
That's I think the first time I've interviewed him. I can't think of a time because he wouldn't have been.
No, he wouldn't have been
in the orbit in the first term because I interviewed a lot of people from the cabinet in the first term. So I need him to come back next time. We're asking about kidney stones.
But it has to be all super personal. Not about general kidney stones.
I already know more about your urinary situation than I ever thought that I would.
I don't even want to nail it down that specifically. I want to open with, Dr. Oz, there's been some blood in my urine.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're passing kidney stones, but they're not coming out of the usual place.
Gross.
Now you've crossed the line,
it's all
Annie.
Gross.
Guys, we just came off a great interview with Dr. Oz.
We did. It was really good.
We don't know what to do, so we're going to sabotage it on the way out. We're panicking. Yeah, it's great. Thanks for getting him on the show. Good to talk to him.
I'm excited that he is in that position.
The full throttle, let's go attitude that he has about rooting this fraud out in all of the different places that it might exist across the country. He's talking about all the corners of the country and everywhere in between. Every department that can exist to seek out fraud needs to do it because it's not like it's just Medicare or Medicaid or daycares or transportation companies. It's everywhere. It's in everything. And we've streamlined this process so much that I feel like people come here for the purpose of defrauding the American taxpayer in addition to the government defrauding the American taxpayer.
He was saying states in that interview that you just did that aren't in headlines right now.
Nevada being
Texas.
one of them. Yes. Corey DeAngelis is going to be with us in 7 minutes. to talk a little bit of what happened in Illinois during the Illinois primary. It's an exciting conversation to have. Corey, in just about 7 minutes. Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. Spring is upon us, which means the rainy season is as well. Your wet basement needs to be dry, and you know that. I don't need to tell you that. It's not new information, but it is important information. Maybe you've been waiting for the right people to call. I want to introduce you to Matt Hayes. When you call 314-271-9900, Home Shield Foundation Repair, that's their line, they're going to come look at what you're dealing with, and you're going to meet Matt Hayes and understand why, time after time, people who call Home Shield Foundation Repair hire Home Shield Foundation Repair. Matt Hayes is a local guy. He's got an incredible team that is dedicated to the way Home Shield Foundation Repair does their business. He knows how to solve your problem, and your basement is unique, but he's done it so many times. He's going to come in and give you the solution that you've been wanting to invest in, but a little trepidatious about picking the right person to hire. 314-271-9900. 314-271-9900. Call my friend Matt Hayes. Tell him Annie sent you. Find him online at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
The YouTube poll, you feel like you're surviving right now as you're moving through time. That's the name of the song. I'm surviving. What's your biggest fear for the future? I think war is definitely something. I remember 4 years ago, I think it was right when Russia decided to go minor incursion on Ukraine. Shockingly, after Biden said don't, and then he just was like, I did. I had a friend who worked here who had young sons. And by young, I mean high school, senior, young college. So not terribly young, but he was like, are we going to war? Are we going to all he was worried about was his sons going to get drafted to fight in some war. And Charlie's 16 now, so I think that thought now. And the whole time that was happening, I was telling him, like, no, it's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. That's not going to happen. But it is a real worry. So when you think about the future, when you think about your kids' future, and you're thinking about war, and, once the nuclear bomb goes off, the first nuclear bomb goes off, I think we're all pretty much toast. If it starts popping everywhere. Which, going back to the beginning of this whole situation, I think that's why Donald Trump is doing exactly what he's doing. Because who's the most likely to flippantly throw a nuke in the air? It would have been Iran, but not anymore. We were talking off air before that, like, who's still pushing buttons to launch missiles?
I don't know. Yeah,
like the Iran, librarian.
When you hear
the regime's librarians, and they're like, oh, what's this do?
Iran fired a missile at Qatar, you go, they still have missiles? I can't even believe that. It's a shock to hear that they have any capability left at all.
Yeah. And I hear Pete Hegseth saying every day, like, today is our biggest day yet. And I'm like, we're ramping it up, but aren't they running out of stuff for us to attack?
Gosh, you'd think so.
I don't know. All right, let's talk to Corey DeAngelis here in just a minute. He's going to join us to talk to us about, you've heard me just pounding my fist on the table, about this education referendum that has been asked in the counties all over the state of Illinois regarding the big, beautiful law that was passed, those education dollars, the scholarship dollars that you can donate, $1,700 individually, $3,400 as a couple, into a scholarship program that will help public school kids, private school kids, parochial kids, homeschool kids afford education. J.B. Pritzker has not said that the children of Illinois can benefit from that program yet. What did the people of Illinois say about that? Corey DeAngelis talks to us in just a minute about it. Stewart's American Mortgage and the bagel loan. Smart move about the bagel loan is that new mortgage that you're going to have to get because you're buying a house. You probably have been recommended a lender. There's somebody out there that you know who does this. I get it. I understand it. I just am telling you, before you make a final decision on where to get the mortgage from, you're going to want to put this number down and call it. Just see what kind of deal Stewie has for you with a bagel loan and how it compares to doing business with the person who you were just told to do business with. Just do a little research. I think you'll be happy that you did. The bagel loan is a mortgage, brand new, that you get, a mortgage refinance that you get that doesn't cost you anything to close. And the sense behind using a bagel loan with Stewart's American Mortgage, with an incredibly quick close, incredible ease to work with, Stewie's number, he gives it directly to you, 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. He's waiting for your phone call. He's waiting for your text message, and he wants to help you. Do business directly with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. Just Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Home's exterior, a little love. Hi, it's Kim, and if your siding is cracking, it's fading, or just doesn't stand up to our St. Louis weather, it's time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design because they're experts in James Hardy siding, which is this durable, low-maintenance option, and it looks beautiful. Plus, you have customizable colors and textures, and so you can give your home a completely new look while protecting it for decades. Don't wait until the small problems turn into big ones. Visit lakesidearty.com to schedule your free consultation.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
If you live in Missouri, have Medicaid, and need a caregiver, this message is important. Care at home is personal. That's why you may not want a stranger in your home to take care of you. You want someone who already knows you and your daily routines. With Freedom Care, you choose a trusted family member, a friend, or a neighbor. They will get paid after every shift to care for you, and it's 100% free to you. More than 70,000 people have already joined the Freedom Care family. Call your local Freedom Care. They'll check your Medicaid eligibility. Don't wait until a stranger shows up at your door. If you have Medicaid and need help at home, this care is available 100% free to you. Call Freedom Care now to see if you qualify. 314-343-1362. 314-343-1362. That's 314-343-1362.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, what is your biggest fear for the future? Your three options plus one are war, AI, climate change, or climate changes. And then the last one, the bonus, is no fears. Let us know which one is your pick in today's YouTube live chat poll. It is 1:33. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
From Troy, Missouri to Troy, Illinois. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
A program similar to Illinois' old Invest in Kids Act might come back to the state. It's a possibility from the new Republican spending package signed by the president.
The program gave a tax credit to people who donated to private school scholarships. Some Republicans support it. States have the option to participate in the Educational Choice for Children Act. It allows up to $1,700 in donations to private school scholarships as tax write-offs. The program started in 2027. The program starts in 2027. Now, Illinois State Representative Brad Halbrook says the state should opt in to provide underprivileged students a quality education.
The money needs to follow the student, not the system, not the bureaucracy. And this is a great opportunity to give students that are in schools that are failing, gives them an opportunity to excel.
There are 35 states that have already opted into the program. The Illinois Invest in Kids Act sunsetted when state lawmakers didn't take it up in the 2023 legislative session.
So that is a flashback report from Fox 18. And thinking about what this governor has not done for the children of the state of Illinois when it comes to opting in. It's the governor's responsibility to opt into this program that Illinois residents can donate to. You can get the tax credit as an Illinois resident, but if you got a kid, your kid's not eligible for the tax dollars that you're getting a tax credit for until J.B. Pritzker blesses it with his holy hand. So we wait. Now, the interesting thing about the Illinois primary that happened Tuesday is there were a lot of places who decided to ask that question on the ballot. Let's bring our friend Corey DeAngelis back on the show, research fellow for the Heritage Foundation, also senior fellow for the Americans for Fair Treatment and author of The Parent Revolution. Corey, welcome back. It's always good to have you on the show with us.
Hey, Annie, thanks for having me.
So I saw you covering the reaction from the state of Illinois on this issue where you have Democrat Governor J.B. Pritzker, who I guess is twiddling his thumbs right now. I don't know that he's spoken out too terribly much on the issue. He has not opted Illinois students into benefiting from this program yet.
It's crazy. 28 other states have already done so, including a Democrat, Jared Polis of Colorado, who said that he'd be shooting himself in the foot if he didn't opt in. He called it a no-brainer decision. He said he would be crazy not to. Those are his words, not mine. And it's because you're right. Anybody can donate, and you can only get the scholarships if your governor opts in. So that'll mean money will flow out of your state if you don't opt in. So Illinois did have it on the ballot, and school choice won in a majority way in every single county where it was on the ballot. I believe it had 31 counties had it on the ballot. Everyone had over 50% support, and the average support was about 63% of voters said that they wanted J.B. Pritzker to opt in. And you know what? J.B. Pritzker said he supported school choice back in 2022 when he was running for governor. He said that he would sign a bill to save the scholarship program benefiting low-income kids. So he has an opportunity to follow through with his broken promise. And he can't point the finger at the legislature anymore because this is a decision that's solely in the hands of the governor. I know there's a bill in the legislature right now by Democrats who are supported by the Chicago Teachers Union to try to prevent him from having the ability to opt in. So they're trying to take that decision away from J.B. Pritzker, but we'll see what happens. But for right now, J.B. Pritzker is the person that everybody should be calling to ask him what he's going to do, because why would he not allow free money to basically come into Illinois to be used for kids to go to a private school? It's probably because he's been controlled by the teachers union for so long. And you know what? He sent his kids to private school. He should allow other families to have that kind of opportunity.
Yeah, I guess it's only for the privileged. I'm looking at this. I'm going to retweet it right now as well from your X timeline here. Voters say yes to scholarships for Illinois students. So Bond County down here, 63% said yes, kids should be able to participate in this program. Clay County down south, 56% said yes. I saw Madison County, where I live, 64% of those folks said yes. But I want to go to Cook County here because it says Cook County, Orland Township, and Cook County, Palos Township. 70% plus on both of those in a Chicagoland area where you would think that maybe that wouldn't be the case. It seems as though there's an understanding that one of two things is happening, maybe both of them. children are incredibly underserved in the education system in the state of Illinois, and they need better options. They need better opportunities. And the second thing is, as you said, and the governor of Colorado said, this is an absolute no-brainer. Why wouldn't we?
Well, and the Chicago government schools are failing in such a spectacular way. I mean, they have a school there that's 97% empty, Douglas High School. And I did some more digging, and there's like hundreds of schools that are more than half empty in Chicago. It's just blows my mind. And so many of them have 0% proficiency rates. That 97% empty school, they spend almost $100,000 a kid per year. Not a single child is proficient in math or reading. What in the world are we doing here? Thankfully, Chicago Teachers Union is on the low, because a new poll just came out showing that they have record low approval ratings for the Chicago Teachers Union. They used to have a net favorable rating. Now more people say they have an unfavorable view of CTU. In fact, so much so, a majority of Chicago voters say they don't support the CTU, and their net favorability is now negative 26%. That is about as bad as you can get on a poll like this. And it goes to show you they lost a lot of elections where they engaged on Tuesday night. They endorsed 13 candidates in contested elections in the primaries. A majority of those candidates lost, and the Chicago Teachers Union squandered about $370,000 in teachers unions paychecks towards these people who lost their election, who were endorsed by the CTU. Others who were endorsed hid their CTU endorsement from their website, didn't promote it. And so they're becoming toxic even for Democrats. And so I would say the union members need to leave. They should opt out. You can go to optouttoday.com. You can click on Illinois or whatever state you're in, and you can join the Teacher Freedom Alliance, keep more money in your pocket, keep getting liability coverage in your name as opposed to the unions. And look, this organization's toxic. Why do you want to go down with the Titanic? You should jump off today and join an alternative that's not going to make you look like a radical.
Oh, amen to that. Corey DeAngelis speaking with us right now, author of The Parent Revolution, research fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Take us on a walk, a little scenic walk on what it's like for, I want to highlight and emphasize what you talked about a little bit before, which is Governor Pritzker has the ability to opt in to this program that was passed in the big, beautiful bill. Illinois taxpayers, they're federal taxpayers, they have the opportunity to get this tax credit, and that doesn't have the governor doesn't have anything to say about that. But what the governor does get to decide at this point in time is whether Illinois children get to benefit from this program. And so far, he has said no because he hasn't said yes. What is the teachers union doing right now? Where is the money? The money comes from the teachers who pay into the teachers union. What's the teachers union doing right now to stop that from happening and allowing the governor to say yes?
Well, they spend it on political campaigns, and they fight to pressure people in the airwaves. They also just donated at early February, tons of money to Senator Guzman, who filed a bill to not opt into the program, to try to take that decision away from J.B. Pritzker, because they're afraid that J.B. Pritzker might actually do the right thing here. He hasn't said no, and he's kind of doing this whole playing both sides thing at the moment. But he says, at least, and other Democrats have said, that they're just trying to wait for the final guidance to come out from the administration. Okay, we'll kick the can down the road a little longer. We'll see what happens. But a glimmer of hope, Annie, is that Education Week has a map just like mine where they report the 28 states that have opted in. And they originally had blue states colored in blue on their map of states that said no. And they had 4 of them. Most of them didn't give an answer. But 4 of them said, nah, we're not going to do this. But they said that as a knee-jerk reaction because they had Trump derangement syndrome and they didn't know the specifics, and they knew the unions weren't going to be on board with this school choice thing. And so they said, oh, no, I'm not going to do this. Education Week has since corrected their story to say 3 of those 4 governors have already changed their mind, not a total flip, but said, you know what? No. I know we said no, but we're actually reconsidering. We didn't know all the details. This includes even Oregon's governor, Tina Kotek, has said, no, this was August of 2025, several months ago, and now we're reconsidering our decision. So maybe J.B. Pritzker is doing the same kind of political calculation where it's like the 21 drinking age. Why would anybody say no? It did take 4 years for the 21 drinking age to get for every state, but it was tied to federal highway money. And so ultimately, push comes to shove, you start to see the writing on the wall. I think every state's going to come along at some point. And if they don't, go ahead, JB Pritzker, go ahead and allow people to donate scholarships to kids in my home state of Texas or Missouri. You have listeners there on your show as well, where they've already opted in.
Yeah.
So why would JB Pritzker want to benefit his opponents, constituents in red states? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, especially if he wants to run for president. Corey DeAngelis with us right now. I want to get a rundown here, an understanding, a clear understanding of what, if JB Pritzker does grace us with the blessing for our children in the state of Illinois to benefit from these dollars that are going to just be sitting there and shoveled into other states around us if he doesn't. The $1,700 per person, a lot of discussion has been on the tax credit, the benefit for the taxpayer. Explain to me that money that becomes available. What does that do for a kid sitting in Edwardsville, Illinois right now?
Yeah, the donor benefit's obvious. I mean, it's a dollar for dollar tax credit. It's as good as it gets. So you can either take your $1,700 a year and give to the government. They're going to light it on fire. Or you can give that same money to a scholarship granting organization like ACE Scholarships, for example. They've been around for a quarter century. They've been doing this well in a lot of different states. And so those are your choices on the donor side. And for the recipient of those scholarships, you go to these organizations like ACE Scholarships or other scholarship granting organizations to get the funding if you qualify for the program. And I think like 80 to 90% of Americans are eligible to receive the scholarships. There's an income cap, but it's actually pretty high.
It's
like I don't remember the
middle class families are going to benefit from this program.
Yes, exactly. And even
significantly.
some of the higher middle class as well. So it's not a total means testing like the state level program in Illinois at the time, but you can get more than $1,700 because the scholarship granting organization can say, okay, let's stack 3 or 4 of these donations for one scholarship, and we can give someone, $5,000, $10,000 for a scholarship if based on their need and the type of school that they're trying to get into. And so when you hear $1,700, you might say, that's not enough for me to afford private school tuition, but the scholarship is almost certainly going to be much higher than $1,700. So that's the tangible benefit, right? And people know when they're in these schools that have no kids proficient in math or reading, and even if they are, I mean, what if you're a conservative parent and you don't like the social justice activism that's been pushed by the teachers unions? Maybe you want a religious education. Maybe you want an education that's aligned with American values and that's not trying to tear our country apart. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why you might benefit from these scholarships. And this is a no-brainer, as Jared Polis said, and hopefully more people do the right thing. And hopefully at some point this gets the state legislators to say, you know what, it's not so bad. Let's do it at the state level too, which Illinois had the Invest in Kids. It was doing a good job, and the dang Democrats did nothing to save it and ripped away scholarships from 9,000 low-income kids.
Yeah, there's a clear way forward here. Unfortunately, it's not always that simple in the state of Illinois, but I think the pressure campaign is going to make a difference. And Corey, your leading voice on this issue, I think this is one of those things where there are so many people saying, Governor Pritzker, duh, you got to do this, that the pressure campaign from voices across the state, across the nation, could actually make a big difference.
And one last thing is with the elections on Tuesday night, there was a Democrat primary where the Democrat who won supported opting into the federal tax credit program, and he beat the teachers union candidate by like 30 points and wasn't even close. So CTU has become so toxic. And one last thing is the union backed someone in the Republican primaries, an incumbent who had been there, Noreen Hammond, in the House for 14 years. And she lost by 25 points to Josh Higgins, who supports school choice. So there you go. School choice is the right thing to do, but it's also a political winner too.
Yes, it is. Amen. And Corey, we thank you for your leading voice on this issue as always. Thanks for coming back on with us. Good to see you.
Thanks, Annie. It's so great to talk to you.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Corey DeAngelis, a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation. In my opinion, the leading voice on school choice, on educational opportunity for kids. And, you could look around at some things that need to be fixed around the country, but the education system in our country is entirely broken. And when you're looking top to bottom at the test scores that are coming out of these school districts, why would you not give kids and families a choice? Why would you not give them the option to provide a better educational opportunity for them if it existed? With money that doesn't come out, not a penny comes out of the education budgeted dollars. It doesn't. They don't go away. When you watch the public unions, the teachers unions come out and talk about how this is taking money away from education, that's a bold-faced lie. It does not. The education budget is untouched in this. Check my facts. I'm right on this one. All right, let's take a break. Brian coming back in here in just a minute. Vote in the YouTube poll. What's your biggest fear for the future right now? Is it war? Is it AI? Climate change? Or you're not worried about anything? Feeling pretty good about everything going forward. Annie Fry YouTube channel, go vote. You can text us on the Annie Fry Show text line, 314-241-9797. Back in a minute. The Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com is the website. You can kind of skip what I'm going to tell you here and learn about it going to retirementkey.com. But it's very important that you get that the team at the Retirement Advisory Group, Thomas Helbig and Tammy Kershaw and Bob Kershaw, these are your folks that are going to usher you into a worry-free retirement. They're your key to a worry-free retirement. When you call 314-993-9494, that's 314-993-9494, you're going to be connected with people who can talk to you about where you are right now. And they specialize with people like you who are on that cusp. You're ready to retire. It's in the near future, and you need to know, what's the plan? What's the plan that's going to have me in retirement feeling comfortable, exhaling, worry-free? That's what they specialize in. So give them a call and schedule your free consultation. No obligation when you leave. It's up to you. 314-993-9494. You can find them online right now at retirementkey.com.
Great to see you finally, April 11th. Although we're not calling it a redo because we never did the thing in the first place. You can't have a sequel if you don't have an original. Get your tickets at 971talk.com/events.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Annie Fry is St. Louis conservative.
Hang on, Snoopy, Snoopy, hang on. Hang on, Snoopy.
Welcome back to the Eddie Fry Show. You've been following this story of this young man who went missing in Barcelona?
No, I've not heard anything about it.
He's visiting some kids, some friends on spring break in Barcelona. There was a report earlier. Well, they've been looking for him, but there was a report earlier that a body has been found. I'm really sad about that. He went missing after, I guess he was at a bar hanging out. It was like 3 a.m. I'm going to read the Fox News report here. He's from Illinois. He's from Elmhurst, Illinois. Body found in area of search for Jimmy Gracie, University of Alabama student missing in Barcelona. Officers from the regional police force in Barcelona have set up a perimeter around a section of the beach. They say they've discovered a body in the ongoing search for missing University Alabama student Jimmy Gracie. Not yet identified. Early Thursday evening, local time, a worker at Port Olympic, adjacent to the beach outside the club where Gracie was last seen, ran out and waved down police officers pointing in the direction he came from. Officers put up crime scene tape, brought in a marked vehicle, and cordoned off the scene. Mossis officers have located the lifeless body of a person in the water. Procedures are underway to identify the body. The 20-year-old was last seen by friends around 3 a.m. Tuesday at Shoko, which advertises itself as one of the top 10 clubs in the world and sits on the edge of the Mediterranean Sea. Gracie and a group of classmates had traveled to Spain to visit friends studying abroad in Barcelona on spring break. This is breaking news right now. When you think about, did you do any spring break trips in high school?
Yeah.
Away in high school?
Oh, in
high school?
No, I don't think I did.
In college?
In college, I did.
What about you, Brad?
No, I never did any spring break trips.
Where'd you go in college, Ryan?
Atlanta.
Why are you saying it like that?
Because it wasn't like a spring break beach trip. It was
What'd you do in
to Atlanta, and we visited the home of Henry Clay, former U.S. Senator.
Who's we?
Me and a friend of mine, Michael. Me and my friend Michael.
Was it a date?
That's a banger of a spring break trip, man.
We visited his grandmother.
Okay.
Who bought
I would have started with
us
that.
a nice dinner.
Yeah? Were you alone?
Not me and her.
You were on a date, but you were on a date with Grandma.
No, I just said no, not me
You
and her.
dirty dog, Ryan Wiggins.
Absolutely not. It was me and Michael and his wonderful grandma, and she bought us a nice pasta dinner.
You seem ashamed.
This was my spring break. And then we drove up through Lexington, Kentucky. And it was this time of year, and I remember thinking, this is awesome, because the energy in the air for March Madness in Kentucky for UK was really fun.
I'm out of time. You've killed the point of my story with reminiscing about your date with Grandma in Atlanta over pasta.
Carry on.
It's too late.
Oh, sorry. It was a fun spring break. Now that you say it, it was kind of fun. You know, I was ashamed at first, but now I'm not.
Now I'm ashamed.
No, you're not.
Oh.
We all had a good time just now.
I'm ashamed. Lemon pound cake in the 2 o'clock hour. If you know, you know.
Okay, I have some really good news. While we do have the 0% a lot, we do have it on our regular products because you will be unbelievably shocked, especially if you call me and I'll give you the straight up scoop on how much money you can actually save by if you spent $20,000 versus $10,000 on a system. The difference could be as little as, I don't know, let's just say, not to exaggerate, 5 cents. So be careful out there, and always remember your energy savings is based on your house. It is not based on the equipment. So common sense advice and help and guidance. Again, call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The easiest, 314-293-2600. Again, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, that is bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. We call them the Doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice in St. Louis. So if you're looking for the best doctors for your best vision, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. Doctors Birdie and Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. I had an eye disease when I was younger. It left me with a silicone buckle around my right eye, so I put my trust in Ophthalmology Ophthalmology Associates to take care of my annual checkups. Maybe you're experiencing dry eye, allergy eyes. They can help. They can help with cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgeries. And if you're looking for the best eye care, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Make an appointment today by calling 314-966-5000 or online at yourEyeDoc.com. They have a great office location just west of 270 on Manchester Road. Again, the phone number, 314-966-5000. The website, yourEyeDoc.com. Ophthalmology Associates.
St. Louis, laugh it up with Jimmy Fallon live at the Factory on Saturday, April 11th. From national radio to sold-out comedy clubs, Jimmy delivers fast, fearless stand-up that hits home.
The only ones raising tough kids anymore. The redneck babies are going to take on ISIS. The hipster babies are going to battle the evil forces of gluten. You know what I'm saying?
Grab your friends and get ready for a night of laughs. One show, one night only. Don't miss Jimmy Fallon, April 11th at the Factory. Get your tickets now at thefactorystl.com. That's thefactorystl.com.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res today. Mark Cox here. It's the perfect time to clean your air ducts as you deal with allergy season coming up. This month, get a free size upgrade on every whole home air duct cleaning package. Don't you love it when you buy your favorite coffee or soda and you get a free size upgrade? That's what Zero Res is doing with this whole home air duct cleaning package. You pay less for more fresh. Go online at ZeroResSTL.com and ask for the 97.1 special.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Find a body. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Divers in Barcelona recovered a body today from the ocean near where University of Alabama student James Gracie was last seen earlier this week. However, police have not confirmed the identity of the body. Gracie, a 20-year-old from Elmhurst, Illinois, was last seen around 3 Tuesday morning outside a nightclub near Barcelona Beach. The Pentagon wants more money. A senior administration official who asked not to be named says the Pentagon wants the White House to approve a request for more than $200 billion to fund the war in Iran. While not confirming the request, War Secretary Hegseth said,
"It takes money to kill bad guys."
And the request comes even as President Trump says the war is winding down.
This is a very volatile world, and the military equipment, the power of some of this weaponry is unthinkable. You don't even want to know about it.
The president says the spending request goes beyond Iran and is intended to ensure U.S. armories remain fully stocked.
It's a small price to pay to make sure that we stay tippy-top.
The request is likely to trigger a debate in Congress over not just the war, but spending priorities as lawmakers call for budget cuts. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
President Trump's meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi at the White House today, where she spoke through an interpreter about the nuclear threat posed by Iran.
Iran's development of nuclear weapons must never be allowed. And that is why we, Japan, have been urging them and also reaching out to other partners in the world.
President Trump and Prime Minister Takaichi are meeting today to discuss a host of issues and expected to announce a $40 billion deal to build a nuclear reactor in the southern U.S. America's listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
It's a pretty good-looking spring afternoon with above-average temperatures back in control. Partly to mostly sunny, 74. We say goodbye to winter today. Then tonight, some clouds, 48. Spring begins on Friday, 9:46 in the morning, sunny and 81. Instant replay Saturday and Sunday, sunshine, dry, 81 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Great show lined up for you this afternoon in the 12 o'clock hour. We talked with Hans von Spakovsky about the Attorney General Bondi hearing, deposition, whatever it was yesterday that ended in a hissy fit. It's just so annoying. Like, they can't even act like grown adults in that room together that I'm, maybe professional malpractice. I'm like, I'm disinterested. Get your act together and let me know when you have, and I'll start paying attention to it. Is that a bad attitude?
No. I mean, you want action, not talk.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff is just made for TV.
Man. It could be a delusion of grandeur, but I just feel like if Ron DeSantis were to replace Pam Bondi, that things would just start popping out of the Attorney General office.
I was really glad when you interviewed Dr. Oz just now to hear that the Department of Human and Health and Services is going after these people. Because you think
fraudulent.
Yeah,
people.
you think, that's more of a law enforcement thing. Well, if it's defrauding their programs, then they are going after it. And they're, I mean, for lack of a better way of putting it, they're chasing these criminals around the country and ending their programs. That's great.
To where they say that, like, once they're rooted out, and if you missed it, we spoke with Dr. Oz at 105 today. Had a long, great conversation with him. It was wonderful to have him on the show. Hopefully he'll come back again sometime soon as he progresses in this fraud hunt that he's on. You can listen to the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Find your podcast there. We also have the video of it up on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. It's just great to see Dr. Oz is not the person who's out there in the front all the time, doing the song and dance. He's working his tail off running around the country to root this stuff out. There is a difference between the people who are front and center, the spokespeople for the departments that they are leading, and the Attorney General is really the spokesperson for the Department of Justice, and they need to be good at it. They also need to be really good at law and prosecution. But they also need to be good at the presentation, at the public relations communication part of it, and I think that Pam Bondi is a D at that. D+, C-. It's just not effective, and I feel like it's a. Let me think over this before I make the statement. Is she the weakest link in the cabinet? I think Kristi Noem would have been the other person who I would have said that to, or about, and moving from Kristi Noem to Mark Wayne Mullen is a pretty distant journey to make.
Seems like it.
In presentation.
The other thing about Pam Bondi is that it seems as if she knows she's not good at it, and she's trying to gear herself up into that role, because when she starts to get mad and passionate, it's like she knows she should be doing those things, but it's not natural, and so it comes off strange.
The perfect antidote to that is the way Marco Rubio handles himself.
Yeah.
The way Marco Rubio, as Secretary of Everything, by the way, the best Marco Rubio was the St. Patrick's Day one where it was Mark O'Rubio. And he was dressed as a leprechaun.
I didn't see that.
Sitting on the couch. Mark O'Rubio. He's just sitting there in a green leprechaun outfit.
I got to give credit to Barack Obama, who did a similar joke on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
from the apostrophe bomb.
I don't remember that, but that is a good one. That's a good one. when Marco Rubio is, and I can't hear that as Latino now, I hear it as Irish, Marco Rubio. When he's sitting in front of the Senate committee and they're asking him questions, you see Pam Bondi, she's got her like palms down on the table. She's leaning in and she's like, she's ready to attack. Marco Rubio is just kind of like casual, sitting back, let you finish. You ready for me to talk? Because if you're ready for me to talk, I got something to say. Oh, no? Okay, keep going. Was it who was it? Senator Warren or Hirono or one of those baddie ladies was like, are you for regime change in Cuba? And he's like, that would be fantastic.
Duh.
He's like, why would you not want the regime to change in communist Cuba? Which is, they asked that question because the premise and the presentation of the question is, well, the obvious answer here is, of course not, Senator. I gasp. We would never. And he was like, got any ideas? It's so
wanted
wonderful.
that for my entire life.
And it's, to me, that's when we're talking about the communication aspect of his position there, he has to be able to communicate to the people who he serves in the administration where he serves at the pleasure of the president. He has to be able to communicate, this is what we're doing here. And he has the understanding in his brain, this is so important, that he's not talking to that senator who's trying to put him in a gotcha situation. He leaps over her and he talks straight to the American people. And he says, he speaks in a way that answers the questions that the American people have about it. And he leaps over these people who just try to play it's not even a slap fight anymore on Capitol Hill. It's a tortilla slap fight. It's not a racial thing. It's just it's bringing it down a level where it's even sillier to think that. Have you ever seen those tortilla slap
Yeah,
fights?
where they you throw them on babies' faces and stuff.
No, that's cheese.
Oh, that's cheese. Yeah.
No, Google tortilla slap fight.
No, I have seen that.
Where people stand and slap each other with tortillas. You ever been slapped by a tortilla?
No.
You want to be?
No. You?
For the show?
For the show? Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Standards.
In private? Absolutely not. Public, sure. Slap me away.
Ethan's
going to
be the
tortilla.
Just so you know, Ethan's the slapper.
As long as there's some beans and rice in it. And I have my mouth open.
I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. When you watch these hearings go back and forth, they're just slap fights. They could be boiled down, and this is what they're doing, into 38-second TikTok shorts so that they can win the day in the algorithm. Am I boring you?
No, you're fine. Continue.
Biggest yawn
Just yawning.
I've ever seen.
Had a long night last night.
Yawn. Passing stones. Marco Rubio, masterful at the communication part. Pam Bondi, probably, maybe legally tops. Maybe she's the best we can get from the legal mind standpoint. I am not smart enough to judge her for that. But she leaves so much to be desired in the public communication part of explaining and convincing the American people that she really knows what she's doing. And Ron DeSantis is masterful at that as well. And I just want to see him in there. He's going to be done after this year as governor. He's going to be available. Put him in there and let it start going crazy. You've got Marco Rubio and JD Vance and Ron DeSantis. Those three people leading the charge in the Trump administration. Donald Trump's going to be able to do all the America First Donald Trump things that he would want to do, but the country's going to be in such great hands.
You know what they need is somebody in law enforcement at that level, whether it's Kash Patel or it was Bongino or Pam Bondi or whoever. They need somebody out there constantly telling us that things are happening. They don't have to tell us specifics because they can't do that.
JD Vance does that as well, and he is really disarming too.
Yeah, he is.
The way he speaks to the American people. He doesn't get wrapped up, which is probably what Donald Trump's been doing this whole time too. Like from a like a theory on how to communicate. You speak to the people. You don't speak to the small, tiny room that you're in, knowing that it's going to be for the world to consume. Donald Trump does that. J.D. Vance does that. I think Tulsi Gabbard does that very effectively. I think she has a great way of communicating. Ron DeSantis certainly. Kristi Noem did not. Kristi Noem always felt to be trapped by the tiny circumstances that she was in, and then the world was peeking in going, gosh, I don't really know if that's...
Yeah, Tom Homan's really good at it.
Oh, he's great.
Stephen Miller's good at it.
Bessent.
Bessent's just been a surprise across the board. You just know, I'm just like, every time I see him.
Anytime people would talk about favorite cabinet members, if we bring that up on the show, I'm always a Marco Rubio person, but as soon as someone says Bessent, I'm like that meme where it's me and Marco Rubio walking down the street, but Bessent's walking by, and
You turn and look at him.
But that guy is so great. He's so great. It's incredible. Ethan, Sports and Local next here on the Annie Fry Show. Probably a March Madness update. We'll see how our brackets are going and whatever else Ethan wants to talk about, because this is Ethan's world and we're all just living in it. Nothing to add?
I just hate...
Listen.
I just don't like that he gets so much credit.
For the work that he does?
Yeah.
He does a lot of work.
He would even tell you that he doesn't.
Why don't you do his work then?
No, I don't want to do that. I do enough with Wiggins America. But now it's Ethan's world. You see where I'm coming from? Like Wiggins America, but now he's doing Ethan's world. It's bigger.
Hemisphere.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Ethan's America. Ryan.
Go ahead.
Wiggins America.
We'll take a break and we'll work on it.
Wiggins America just exists within Ethan's world.
The YouTube live chat poll, what's your biggest fear for the future? Is it war, AI, climate change, or you don't really have fears that you feel like you need to name or label or isolate? You can text us at 314-241-9797. We'll feature some of those here shortly in the 2 o'clock hour. We've got Ethan, Sports and Local next. And does the phrase lemon pound cake mean anything to y'all? Brad, does lemon pound cake mean anything to you? I haven't asked you yet.
No.
I was afraid you'd be a yes. You were the one who I thought would know the most. Oh, boy, do I have a story for you guys.
You've been talking about this before the show started.
When I discovered the story, I could not contain myself.
I don't have any idea where this goes.
There's no possible way, if I gave you a billion opportunities to guess what the story is about, that you'd be able to guess what the story is about. It's so good. 2:30.
I can't wait.
Lemon pound cake. Back in a minute. Matt Hayes and Home Shield Foundation Repair. Wait for your phone call. Have you reached out to Home Shield Foundation Repair yet for your leaky basement? If you're leaky downstairs, then Ryan?
Yeah, there's a few products for that, but this seems like it would be one of them.
Foundation repair.
Yeah, that's okay. That's where my mind was too.
314-271. Only for you, Matt Hayes. 314-271-9900 for your leaky downstairs. You've got a problem down there. It's getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
It's going to get worse.
Over time.
Not going to get better on its own. Get your leaky downstairs fixed with Home Shield Foundation Repair. I don't know what kind of phone calls he's going to get now.
Is this that company that
You have
sells
a medicine
cranberry
for that?
pills?
Yeah. Whatever you need for your basement fixed, he's qualified to fix. You go call 314-271-9900, a locally owned business. Hopefully this doesn't hurt his business. Hopefully this helps his business. He's got a great sense of humor. He's got a great family, and he's got a great business. And he can help you with that water seeping into your basement, and you need to get it fixed. And the time to call is now. 314-271-9900. Get your leaky downstairs fixed. Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Tuna Helper Hannaford.
Yeah, and it is sponsored by All Financial.
For now.
Yeah.
And
we'll
not
take you
Tuna
as long
Helper.
as you want us. I expect that to be gone.
Who?
in a week.
Tuna helper or hamburger helper, Ryan?
Hamburger helper.
Brad?
Hamburger helper.
Oh, easy hamburger helper.
Does anybody prefer tuna helper?
Not that kind of tuna. I like a lot of tuna.
It's not bad.
Like a very nice, thin sliced ahi tuna. Undercooked.
Oh my gosh. I'd rather starve.
You can't
Tuna
undercook
steaks.
it.
I love me some tuna
Succulent.
steaks.
You can't undercook it.
Tuna steaks.
Yeah, you really don't cook it at all.
All right, tuna helper, let's go.
Well, the best day of the year is underway.
It's all downhill from here.
Correct. March Madness has begun.
ILL.
INI.
A couple of games have concluded. Several games being played right now. No local teams have played yet. A couple tonight, though. The U of I is facing off against Penn. So that is a 3-14 game. That is in the South region. If the Illini actually needed it, Penn is without one of their best players who's out with a concussion, and their other best player is dealing with illness right now. So
What kind of illness?
I don't know. Coach didn't go
Leaky
into
basement?
Is he passing stones?
No,
Well, you
not
read
that
a
I know
poem
of.
called
It
Passing
sounds horrible.
Stones.
Passing stones.
Yeah.
It's-
Doing the like air of Jack Handy.
Yeah. It's just like my book. It'd be another grocery item.
I think passing stones is for the weak. Only the tough will. I think the tough will. Keep them in.
He
Just
might
let 'em in
hit
there.
you.
Was that supposed to be a joke? Like,
He's-
were you writing something
He's
there? Was that
joking
a
about your
poem?
kidney stones.
I don't know what I didn't know what he was doing. How was Wiggins America yesterday when I was gone? Pretty good.
No, it's
You left
pretty
me-
bad. He told
left
you.
me with 4 stories that I know you have had for a year.
Yeah.
And the reason I know it is
Yeah.
because they were previously highlighted from the last time that you just gave them to me as like backup that I
didn't use them.
And I
He'd
didn't
get
end up
three
using 'em.
quarters through the story and be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That
He
was
goes,
the way
"Can I
that
have
went.
some stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, here you go. I'm not going to use this."
You gave me the stuff that you've been putting off using for
Illinois
quite
plays
literally
tonight at
a year.
did I see 9:25? Is that Eastern?
8:25 is Central Time.
So the numbers are scrolling. I just thought up there.
Mhm.
And then SLU plays at the same time pretty much, right?
Yeah, SLU is playing at 8:45 in the Midwest region.
So
they're out in Buffalo.
8:25
For
Illinois.
U of I and 8:45 for SLU. The good news is that you stream these, you can do the split screen for a lot
Yep,
of them. You
YouTube
don't have
TV is
to-
going to be popping with
Oh, yeah.
multiple screens going at one time. When's Mizzou play?
Mizzou plays tomorrow night, Friday night at
home?
Yes, at home at basically. I mean, it's in St. Louis. They're at 9:10 Central Time. That one's on True TV. The games tonight, U of I is on TNT and SLU is on CBS. So SLU is playing Georgia, 8-9 matchup, and then Mizzou is the 10 seed playing the 7 seed Miami. I will be at the Mizzou-Miami game.
Look at
you.
Have a little press hat on.
I'll be wearing...
Brian's going to make it for you.
I'll have my microphone with my Annie Fry show. What's it called? What's the thing called?
Annie Fry is her name.
No. What's the thing that you put on the microphone?
The flag.
The flag.
Careful.
I'm going to have the Annie Fry show flag.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, 85 show fly.
Hey, okay, knock it off. I don't
Turn
want to
your
scoop
microphone
you
off.
on a story that you might be doing, but did you see this story? I'm sharing it right now on the live stream about the police, the St. Louis police, what they did for this weekend?
The, what are those called? Curfew?
Yes.
Yeah. I did see that. It's not going to work, but good on them for trying,
So this
I guess.
is just not news sports, it's also opinion. The tweet from the St. Louis, Missouri police is this weekend there will be a 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew for young people, 17 and younger. Not you, Ryan. In the downtown and downtown west neighborhoods, this is precautionary to ensure St. Louisans stay safe. Parents will be held responsible for the behavior of their children, but just from 10
What does
p.m.
that
to 5
mean?
a.m.
What are they going to do
this weekend.
What are they going to do?
Swat them.
This is not to make sure that St. Louisans stay safe. This is make sure that the guests stay safe.
Yep. Good idea. Thank you.
Maybe can we benefit from that too? Can this be more than just when we've got people coming in?
It's not going to work, though. That's the thing. Is that
Not if with that
they're-
attitude.
They're
it
all
won't.
okay. All right.
See what you need to do is, and I'll help you if you want to.
Yeah, please do.
Start infiltrating those groups. Being like, hey, I'm Gen Alpha. What do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about
How you doing,
Which
fellow
groups?
teenagers?
Cardi B?
Infiltrating which groups, Ryan?
Young people
Hmm.
in the city
Mm-hmm.
and hanging out with them, and so that you can kind of steer the activity away from hurting travelers.
What kind of activities would you suggest?
Is Cardi B supposed to herd people away?
Well, you're
from-
just trying to identify with them first.
Okay.
You just got to be like, hey, I also
That's
love
the youngsters like
Chris
Cardi
Pratt.
B.
Are you on Hello?
You guys all on Hallow?
Stay prayed
Y'all?
up, homies.
I thought you were going to say Chris Stapleton.
Next story.
Yeah, please. Before we get taken off.
See
the
how
air.
you're subtly moving them in a good direction?
No.
You're toward prayer.
Nope. Toward
It's really just about
from Cardi B.
You weren't expecting that.
Nobody was. I played it and I didn't even know when it was going to happen.
I was not expecting that. Okay. All right.
All right.
Can I continue?
Come on, Tuna
before
Helper.
we get in trouble.
Nobody's listening.
Real quick.
Yeah, who's going to get in trouble?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. This is just us.
Thank you to All Financial for sponsoring this.
Oh, no. That was.
Ouch, that one kind of hurt.
Oh, except for all those people listening.
Yeah, those people are great.
Let's go ahead and real quick. I'm just gonna
Do anything else.
I'm gonna scan through some of the St. Louis natives that are playing in the NCAA tournament. Actually, a couple of them playing right now for High Point University. Cameron,
Woo, look at that score.
Cameron Fletcher and Rob Martin, and they are in the mix. They are tied up right now with Wisconsin.
Who?
That's a
With who?
5-12. Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Is that the opposite of Wisconsin?
Wisconsin?
Yeah.
So you're a Wisconsin person?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Is that what I said?
Now you're getting there.
What? Okay.
Wisconsin.
Do you guys hear it?
Don't let her get in your head.
Earlier-
Don't let her do it.
No. Earlier, Mark Reardon.
Don't let her get
You did
your
nothing
Hold on,
wrong.
hold on.
Listen, how often do I side
Hold
with
on.
you?
Hold-
And I'm with you.
For the first time,
I've been in this room for
the
8
first
years.
For the first time in the studio, where there's always 4 people in here, I don't feel alone.
Thank you.
Earlier, I got my
We have a common enemy.
I
That's
have
why.
my I have my NCAA tournament set up out
The
there.
enemy of my enemy.
I got my 4 monitors with all the games on.
Yeah.
Mark Reardon takes a seat. We're watching the game. I'm like, oh, High Point Wisconsin game's looking good right now. And
He
he
did
said,
it again.
He said, if you ever say Wisconsin again, I'm gonna slap you in the mouth.
Wait a second. Who just called you out for that? Reardon?
Mark Reardon.
So-
Literally 10 minutes ago.
So Reardon just called you out on saying Wisconsin?
Yes.
And he's from Wisconsin.
And I thought this time I took that into consideration and I tried to say Wisconsin and you said, what'd you say? What'd you say?
So much hate.
Now with 2 main hosts on the station against you, I don't know what I can do for you.
Can someone call Mark Cox, please?
You're a weekend host. That's got to stand for something.
Yeah, a little bit, but not a lot.
Not a whole lot. Do you see this? Siena right now, 16 seed, beating Duke, 1 seed, 28-18. by 10.
It's
That's fun while it lasts.
It has happened twice.
It's hard to
in
believe.
NCAA tournament history.
When I turned my head and looked at TV, I went, adi, what? What?
A little more visual.
Oh my gosh.
One more story, because we got to get to lemon pound cake or I'm going to bust.
Okay.
She can't wait to talk about this. It's probably innuendo.
Oh, no. It's actually lemon pound cake.
Well, then I'm really excited
If
then.
you know, you know.
I'll do this story. This is exciting.
Is this about Wisconsin?
It's not, you jerk. St. Louis City SC's home stadium is one of the 7 facilities nationwide that will host men's and women's matches for the LA 28 Olympic and Paralympic Games.
Mm-hmm.
The LA 28 soccer tournament will begin.
Thanks for the enthusiasm, Brad.
July.
Oh, there, man.
He's like, there needs to be something here. Fine, I'll go.
Fill the space.
Yay.
Empty audio.
4 days ahead of the Olympic opening ceremony, the soccer tournament will begin. This will allow teams an extra 2 days of rest in the tournament. So Energizer Park is going to be hosting eight group stage matches on July 10-11, 13-14, 16-17, and then a men's quarterfinal match on July 20th. I know it's kind of silly to talk about dates quite literally 2.5 years in advance, but it is exciting, especially when you compare it to the other parts of the country that are going to be hosting games. New York, Columbus, Nashville, San Jose, San Diego, and the Rose Bowl are the other 7. So St. Louis
got up there.
going in along with those 7. I think that's pretty exciting.
Cool.
Energizer Park is a cool park.
It really is. It's beautiful.
Just
well
keeps
done.
going and going.
Yeah, especially when you lick the side of it.
What?
Like a battery. Not the stadium.
No.
I think if you lick the stadium, you get a disease.
Ethan, can you stay in here? Can you endure lemon pound cake
I'm not
with us?
gonna lie. I don't want to.
Oh, I know, because you want to watch basketball.
But can you?
I can.
This is the only time today that I've watched basketball during your segment, because
know
you've been
how
watching basketball during all of mine.
You know how I said that it's like my favorite day of the year? You're taking that away from me right now.
I'm a part of this for you.
Are you?
I thought it was because of our team.
She thought you were a part of the team, is what she's saying.
The team that doesn't know how to say Wisconsin?
Well, that's you.
You got kind of isolated on that one.
Well, I thought you were on my team.
I am, but
Okay.
you did it.
Okay.
We're going to talk about lemon pound cake when we come back. And if I don't have anything in the last segment, I'm going to have Mark Reardon come in here and talk about Wisconsin. See how he feels about it. I can't believe he called you out about it 10 minutes ago.
I don't feel good about myself.
Oh, no, you're great. You're absolutely great. All right. I've been talking about it all day. I can't stop thinking about it.
Over 2.5 hours
Longer-
she's been talking
longer
about
even
It's
than
longer
that.
than that. She brought it up to me at like 11:30
Yes.
when she came in.
3 hours.
Now, I'm going to tell you what. It's about lemon pound cake and everybody's favorite artist, Afro Man.
Oh.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week. New segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
License number GL2500615.
Hey, it's good to hear you.
Hey, Dad, isn't it good to see ya?
Yep, but with smoke alarms, we need to hear them. If one alarm is downstairs, you might not hear it upstairs.
At school, everyone hears the fire alarm.
That's why we install hardwired smoke alarms that all go off together, just like school.
Smoke alarms done the right way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio every Saturday at 2, right here on 97.1 FM Talk, and you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844 888-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you live in Missouri, have Medicaid, and need a caregiver, this message is important. Care at home is personal. That's why you may not want a stranger in your home to take care of you. You want someone who already knows you and your daily routines. With Freedom Care, you choose a trusted family member, a friend, or a neighbor. They will get paid after every shift to care for you, and it's 100% free to you. More than 70,000 people have already joined the Freedom Care family. Call your local Freedom Care. They'll check your Medicaid eligibility. Don't wait until a stranger shows up at your door. If you have Medicaid and need help at home, this care is available 100% free to you. Call Freedom Care now to see if you qualify. 314-343-1362. 314-343-1362. That's 314-343-1362.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
The YouTube live chat poll is: what is your biggest fear for the future? Is it war,
I think
AI,
yours is the time check.
climate change, or do you not have any fears, or is it at least none of those? Let us know. A lot of people sharing other ones in the text and the stream. And if you want to text in on this, you can. 314-241-9797. Let us know what you think. We'll give you the results soon. It is 2:34. We're about to find out about lemon pound cake on the Annie Fry Show. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
Cutting through the spin. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Is this one of the greatest songs ever written?
No, it's Comfortably Numb.
Oh, comfortably numb. I think it is. Okay. I've been talking about lemon pound cake. I've been thinking about it for the entirety of the day since this morning. And I came across the story, and I didn't believe that it was true, but I grokked it. And so I asked Grok, is the Afro Man lemon pound cake story a real story? If yes, give me brief bullet points to outline the story. If no, where did it come from? And Grok replies, yes, the lemon pound cake story is real. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking what I was thinking is this can't possibly be real. It is real. It is, in fact, real. So what happened was Afro Man, what do you guys know about Afro Man?
Because I got high.
Yeah, he's the guy who's saying because I got high. Big black guy, big afro.
I didn't know he was tall.
Sing songs about getting high.
Yeah, and crazy rap, right? That one too.
I don't know. Whatever that is. What is that?
Colt 45 and 2 zigzags.
Okay.
That's how you get in with the youth, like I was talking about in the last segment.
Hello, fellow kids.
Hello, kids.
Okay, so
You like Afro Man?
this is the first story that I came across. There is a lawsuit that Afro Man levied against the sheriff's department because the sheriff's department went into Afro Man's home and, according to Afro Man, was looking for weed, trying to bust him. He has surveillance video of these officers in his home.
Okay.
This is an initial report here from Megan Loading. That's not her last
Megan
name.
Loading.
It's just taking forever to load.
Megan, like the movie Megan, the horror movie.
Mm-hmm. As far as I know. Sorry.
Are you-
Megan Cuniff, a retired deputy, is suing Afro Man for defamation. And in his testimony, he said that he went into Afro Man's home, had a search warrant, kicked the door in, went in. Afro Man says he didn't find anything. So they searched his home, didn't find anything. But Afro Man took the surveillance video of the people, the officers coming into his home, and made a music video and a song out of it And now this sheriff's deputy is suing him for defamation.
Called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman.
Mr. Foreman being Afroman's real last name.
Oh.
You received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
He just said, I've received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
Okay. And the context of that name comes from a music video that Mr. Foreman created, correct?
I don't know where he got it at, but you'd have to ask him that question.
Okay, so essentially you have a lawsuit here. This is some of what Grok has assembled for me. Adams County Sheriff's deputies executed a search warrant at Afroman's home based on allegations involving drug possession, trafficking, and kidnapping. They broke down his door and his gate. They searched his property. They found zero evidence of kidnapping or major crimes. They seized some marijuana and cash. Afroman claims they shorted him on returned money and damaged property. No charges were filed against Afroman. So what happens is during this process of searching this home, they go in and they walk into his kitchen and there's some lemon pound cake sitting on the kitchen counter. And Afroman's like, I'm going to make a moment out of this.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break.
You would admit that you with the glasses walking by a lemon pound cake on the counter?
Yes.
And that is security footage from the search of Mr. Foreman's residence?
I assume, yes.
So he gets this, Afroman makes this music video, and it's called Lemon Pound Cake, and it becomes a viral sensation. And then the sheriff's deputy starts receiving lemon pound cakes.
That's not the worst thing in the world that could happen to you.
No, over and over and over again. And he was so mad about it that he sued him for defamation and said that this music video that was made was problematic for his future and so on and so forth. So here is a little clip from Afroman's lawyer.
Sorry. Sean, you were called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times.
You
You received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
Okay. And the context of that name comes from a music video that Mr. Foreman created, correct?
I don't know where.
They show the video.
It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice.
The lawyers for Afroman then go through the process of highlighting some other songs, including, whose song is WAP? That's all I'm going to say about it.
Cardi B.
Is it Cardi B?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion?
No.
They're both in there.
They're both in it.
Okay, same thing. I don't know these people. It turns out that this just happened. This is an actual lawsuit, and it turns out that Afroman wins this lawsuit, and this deputy has continued to receive these lemon pound cakes over and over and over again. But the video has now become a sensation. And Afroman is now making more videos of just outing things that are true, singing songs saying if it's on the internet and it's true, you can't sue me for it. And he's just basically calling out all of these different people who exist right now in the news, in law enforcement specifically, outing them in his songs and he's essentially saying that he is untouchable because if it's true, he can say it. He's got this whole niche of TikTok viral moments all out of this lemon pound cake experience. I'm going to get a higher quality video here.
Can I just ask, is the entirety of this officer pound cake thing based on the video that we saw there? That I know if you're listening, you couldn't hear it, but that he walks by the kitchen and there's like half a lemon pound cake under a glass cover. And he kind of does a double take at it. Like he sees the cake, starts walking away, and then he looks back at it like, oh, that's a nice looking cake. He didn't touch it, but that was it.
That's the lemon pound cake.
All of it.
And it's Mama's lemon pound cake. I'm going to cue it up here. It didn't work the first time. The internet's killing me right now. We're pretty pro law enforcement here on the Annie Fry Show. This is not over a crime that was committed. The sheriff's deputies are suing Afroman for defamation because they made he made a very successful viral video over this attempt at an arrest, I suppose. They went in, they searched his home, they didn't find anything. I mean, is this... Are we pro-law enforcement? I'm always pro-law enforcement. That's my default.
Yes, but the negativity that they're receiving here is that they're getting free cakes. This guy's just having cake sent to him. I'm not really sure what the big problem is.
I'm pro law enforcement. I'm also pro First Amendment, freedom of speech, and I don't know. I'm finding this stuff funny.
Let's listen in.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some living pounded. Mama's living pounded. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Living pound cake.
It's just under the boardwalk.
Lemon pound cake, trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake, he's a family guy. Lemon pound cake, munchies because he got hot. Lemon pound cake, he's a Adams County Sheriff. He's hungry and he's big as hell. He was sniffing for weed. Then he smelled another smell. What was that? Mama said pound cake. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what? Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his line. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. Munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake.
It looks like they went to a club.
Either that's stock footage or that's an actual club full of people.
They're singing Lemon Pound Cake.
This song. That's it right there. That one piece of footage of him doing the double take at the cake.
That's amazing.
That's it.
Mama's Lemon Pound Cake. So he made this video. I wonder how much money he's made just from the social media draw that you get on something that goes viral like this. I can't imagine what it's like to be. I mean, the deputy is a little on the heavier side.
He did call him a big fat guy.
Yeah, he did.
That could be slander. But apparently he didn't win. So.
I mean, at some point you have to get into the point of a different music video that he has out there is if it's true. There's nothing that you can really do about it. You can't. If you call somebody fat and they're maybe a little overweight, you can't get criminally or civilly prosecuted for
That's
that.
Tough. That's a tough line.
Defamation has to be untrue.
Eye of the beholder. That's a weird. So the video you're playing is in court.
In court.
They're playing Lemon Pound Cake.
This is an entire. This is an entire court case.
The lawsuit from the officer is doomed to fail because everybody's laughing.
Isn't it a miscalculation?
Yeah, he looks humorless. Now, if there was some sort of real problem that he's encountered from this, then I'd like, okay, well,
it's excess lemon pound cake.
I'd understand, but that's not a problem.
That I assume excess lemon pound cake that he might be getting from his colleagues.
If that's true, it's even funnier.
And then I was walking through my morning singing Under the Boardwalk, and I was just so happy. It's just like a great, great song. Listen to it. Ugh. Lemon
look at
pound
that.
cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. Afroman won the lawsuit.
Well, got to side with Afro Man here.
Yeah. I can't imagine what it's like to be in that precinct with Mr. Lemon Pound Cake. We'll be right back.
This Friday, we're inviting you to have some fish with us. It's another Fish Fry Friday on The Mark Reardon Show. This time we're in Oakville at Queen of All Saints. From 3 to 6, we'll be broadcasting live and eating God's cod. Fish Fry Fridays, made possible by Apache Village RV.
Triton Exteriors, St. Louis Roofing, Siding, and Gutter Systems. We'll take care of you and your home. We're #1 in the Ladue, Kirkwood, and Webster area. James Hardy certified. Visit triton.stl.com to be connected with a James Hardy expert and receive a free estimate. Triton-stl.com or call 314-717-1159. That's 314-717-1159. Triton Exteriors, St. Louis #1 James Hardy specialists.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
You can feel the Clydesdales circling the field. Hear the stands come alive. Smell the hot dogs, the popcorn, and cold beer in the air. See the crowd rise as the first pitch hits the glove. And just like that, a new season begins. The countdown is on until opening day, and tickets start at just $49. Don't miss St. Louis's favorite holiday. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/opening day.
Swings, and it's a high fly ball. That's hit deep. It's a gunner! It's a gunner! And a game winner!
Start the season in style on Saturday, March 28th. The Cardinals welcome the Tampa Bay Rays for a spring showdown downtown. That day, you can score a lightweight Cardinals pullover, a navy blue look built for early season nights, and easy everyday wear. Comfortable, classic, and ready for cool evenings at the ballpark. It's a layer you'll reach for all season long. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
What's your favorite four-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our four-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar. And maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Annie Fry is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Lots of fun watching college basketball today. I know a lot of y'all are doing that as well. Tonight, we'll be able to take in the Illinois basketball game and the SLU basketball game, so stay in tune for that. Mizzou plays tomorrow. Did you fill out a bracket?
Oh, yeah. Filled out a couple.
In my son's?
In yours, in one with my dad, my kids did. We have a lot of fun.
Who's your Final Four? Do you know off the top of your head?
For yours, I think it was Michigan, Arizona, Virginia, and I can't remember the fourth.
What about you, Brad?
I did. I filled out 3.
Your Final Four.
Oh, the one that I filled out, it was Illinois, Michigan State, Michigan, and I think Arizona?
Illinois.
Big Ten.
Okay.
Well, right now, Wisconsin is losing by 1 with 1.4 seconds to go in the second half. We'll see if
5 seed.
Wisconsin. Oh, look at the person with the Cardinals hat there. That's fun. I do love this time of year. something good. I think this is the thing. I think that the fact that it floods the zone with so much information that you can pour yourself into it. Everybody, if you do fill out a bracket, you can have something to pull for, even if your team isn't going to go as far because only one does go all the way. But getting sports back to the place where you get to pour your emotion into it and kind of remove your sense from it. That's what politics has become to such a large degree. It's been so emotionally driven that that's why people detach from it so much now, because it's too painfully emotional, but that stuff actually matters. So there is so much more substance to it. That's like what I was talking about with the World Baseball Classic. I was watching it and I'm wanting, the emotion is there so much that I want them to win. And I always have to tell myself, if we lose, it's still Wednesday tomorrow.
Yeah.
You still go on. If you lose in a political sense when you're pouring yourself into it, there's a lot that's at stake. But it's important to be able to have sports exist, and maybe it's not sports for you. Maybe it's, shows at the Fox or concerts or music or whatever the entertainment is. We have to be able to have those things where we can pour ourselves into it in a kind of consequence-free way. If it goes our way, we can be super pumped about it. If it doesn't go our way, we can be bummed about it. But it's in a kind of what I would actually refer to as a safe space. And our YouTube poll for today, what's your biggest fear for the future? I think when we pour ourselves into the entertainment value of news and politics and it ends up trumping the actual substance of it, it makes it so that I don't have extra emotion to pour into these things that we used to. And then you get into sports where they're trying to inject, well, not now, but within the last 15 years, all of a sudden you find yourself observing political statements in every sporting event you go to, every concert that you go see, and it's just too much. We got to get back to the understanding of what actually matters. Politics comes downstream from that, and we got to be able to spend our time with the people we love, emotionally investing in things like this, like sports. Wisconsin loses. That just happened.
Ooh, Wisconsin loses 5-12.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and Duke went into the locker room as a 1 seed down 11.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
To
but that's still second half about to start though. Can I read a tweet real quick? Or it's not a tweet, but a text.
Read everything you can.
Concerning the poll, it says, I have no fear about the future. I have complete faith in my God and protective angels. However, I do have, I'm paraphrasing because it's kind of long. However, I do have extreme frustration that yahoos are so vitriolic to one another that no one can live in peace.
Yes, exactly. You got to change the folks to the yahoos. Just, inhale, exhale. I like the perspective there, though, of that texter. We thank you for reacting to the poll today. I'll read the results for you right now. What's your biggest fear for the future? We gave you the options of war, AI, climate change, or you don't really have fears. What's your vote in this one, Ryan?
I'm going to say no fears, but if I had to pick one, I'd say AI.
Brad?
Yeah, I'm going to say no fears as well, but if I had to pick one, it'd be AI.
Yeah, AI is it for me. I think that's the scariest thing in the future. We've got over 200 votes today. We have 49% agree, AI. 29% said you're not worried about anything. 18% war, 3% climate change. It's always 3%. March Madness, don't go away.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
A deep breath could help you save money on big purchases if you make that purchase at all.
So many things pull us to buy something.
Sherry Greco-Rikis of EP Wealth in Chicago says follow the 72-hour rule for making big purchases. Wait 72 hours and see if you still want to buy. She says the cooling off period can be productive.
You take 72 hours, you can investigate, maybe look at other vendors.
I'm Rob Hart.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, Chad Hansen from Hansen's Tree Service. Much like the human body, trees require a specific combination of nutrients to thrive. Our certified arborists can come to your property and prescribe the ideal treatment to ensure your trees and plants thrive this coming season. Check us out today at hansonstree.com and take advantage of our winter savings.
This is an important message for anyone struggling with $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or personal loans. Due to ongoing inflation, job loss, and the rising cost of living, many Americans are facing overwhelming credit card balances. If you're drowning in credit card debt, you may qualify for powerful debt relief options currently being offered by National Debt Relief that can significantly reduce what you owe. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a debt consolidation loan. You could qualify for this debt relief option and only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe. Act now to see if you qualify. With thousands of 5-star reviews online and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, National Debt Relief has helped over 1 million consumers with their debt that qualified for this relief option. So don't wait. Call the Debt Reduction Hotline now. Dial 800-428-5757. 800-428-5757. That's 800-428-5757.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Tax season is here, and Missouri families are already seeing the real impact of the Working Families Tax Cut Act. House Republicans are delivering real results for hardworking Missourians. According to the Council of Economic Advisors, the bill is projected to raise wages in Missouri by about $3,000 to $6,000 over the next 4 years. That's more money for groceries, gas, and greater security for your family's future. In Congress, I'm working to protect working families, strengthen our economy, and ensure you are keeping more of your hard-earned money.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Baron Mirror Glass and Door. Simply the finest when it comes to glass, mirror, and shower doors. Why? That's easy. Our sales staff and installation team consist of decades and decades of knowledge, consistently keeping updated on all of the industry's newest and greatest ideas, which of course means you get the best advice along with the best installation. One trip to Chesterfield Valley will show you why our prices aren't the only reason to buy from us. That's Baron Mirror Glass and Door.
KFTK FM Florissant. An Odyssey station.
The search may be over. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Police in Spain recover a body from the ocean near a Barcelona nightclub where U.S. student Jimmy Gracie was last